Hello, hello, hello. What's up? Welcome to the draft machine. I don't know what to call it exactly, but we've got our draft set up all it's looking great. It's feeling good. I'm going to let's get some nice chill music here. Turn sound on. Nice chill music. NHL draft day. A busy NHL draft day at that. Hope you are all having a lovely Friday. Because at the end of the day, look, no matter what happens on the draft floor, no matter what happens with our favorite teams, whether that's the Vancouver Canucks or whoever you cheer for, it's still a lovely Friday. And that is the most important thing. We're already getting Habs or Goated's mock draft. Pontus Aberg, number 1. Let's go. And let me just do a... Copy this link. Live at vid. Oh, that's annoying. Just one moment here. I'll go over our plans for the evening. Boom. All right. Plans for the evening. I have Judge Judy on my TV. Not what I'm looking for. That's what happens when you watch Donnie and Dolly and leave your TV on check. It's the best channel because you get good sports talk and then you get Judge Judy, which is just a win all around, really. Why isn't Wall Street? Why isn't Wallstedt in the top 10 available? I'm just using the I'm using the Bob McKenzie list, which has him at number 12. So he's at number 12 on this list. So as people shift, he will get after the second pick, and I start deleting names from this. Right, if I were to delete Beniers and Power from this list, they'll get pushed up. So he'll be on there. Hey Noah, hope you're doing well. I am good. Why isn't Aberg up there? Great question. Excellent question. Maybe it's because he's not gonna get drafted. We have to make some tweaks to our list here because the Blackhawks did trade pick number 12. I don't have a Blackhawks logo downloaded. Logo. I search for Lolo. Images. Give me this. And this is going to go in this folder. The OEL trade is a Vancouver win because of Garland's mustache. Interesting. Interesting take. That is a big Blackhawks logo. Shrink this and we'll put this next to number 31 because they picked that pick up. Something like that should be good. And then I have to download a Blue Jackets logo. Right here. Save. Blue Jackets. We'll bring that onto the screen. And that will go up into the number 12 slot. Let's move it over a little. That should be good. All right. I hope you guys like the setup I've got here. So quick overview. We'll have all the picks getting updated as we go on the side here. Any trades that have been made. I've put the logos on where the picks actually are now next to those. Obviously pick 11 forfeited from Arizona. So all these numbers can go up by 1. On this side, we've got the top 10 available. This is all using the TSN Bob McKenzie list. Because I think he just pulls a bunch of scouts, and I don't know, just an easy list to grab. So as we go through, the top 32 are listed here. So as we take names off, new names will push up. So that will update as we go. We've also got our chat right here, so you guys can say hello. And yes, any news that comes through, I have put on a little ticker up here for the day. I will add the Jake Bean trade to that shortly after. Let's start with some questions here while we wait a few minutes till the draft here. thoughts on the Jones trade. The Seth Jones trade is, I actually put a tweet out about this a couple minutes ago, and I said, here, I'll put my tweet on screen here. Can I just do this? Does that work? Nope, that just puts the Canucks After Dark logo there. I think I'd have to save it. Do this, save, and then I gotta grab. This cannot be the easiest way to do this. I tweeted out, Stan Bowman out here making Jim like a god. 3 first-round picks, basically, because Boquist, the 11th, and then a first next year for Seth Jones. Seth Jones had a bad year this year. He just didn't play well. Again, one off year usually isn't too big of a deal because sometimes people can bounce back, but of course, you know, sometimes they don't. So it's a big risk for Chicago, and then going out and signing him for a $76 million contract, 8 years times $9.5 million is a lot of cash. That is a lot of money to give a guy who didn't have a good year this year. So I think that's a risky move for Seth Jones. That contract is scary. What was next here? Who will be our 4th line center? Sutter if we re-sign him? Yeah, so the idea that at least Clay and I had put together was, you know, you don't need Sutter and Beagle. And it looked like they were going to let Sutter go. And then Beagle gets traded. So that 4C spot is open. Of course, Jason Dickinson as your 3rd line center. Now, what we've sort of heard is that Brandon Sutter, it doesn't even really look like he was going to be brought back. Like Benning wasn't too hot on the idea, it sounded like. Like someone asked him, and he was like, yeah, we're thinking about it, but it wasn't like a pre-planned answer. I think it's going to be some sort of UFA, someone cheap, someone on hopefully like $1 million to $1.5 million contract who can go out there, play 11 minutes a night, and not hurt. So it could be Sutter. It could be anyone else that is mediocre. I'm not too concerned about who the 4C is. Why didn't Petey sign yet? Asks Nicole. I wonder if I can. I'm gonna try to tweak this chat box because like your names get completely cut off. Like if I shrink the font size and then just make the whole box bigger. Nah, maybe I won't do that. Bring back to 28, I think it was. Either way, I kind of cleared the chat out. Why didn't Petey sign yet? I don't know. There's no super rush. I think they're just working out everything at once. I don't know. There's lots of RFAs that haven't signed yet. I don't think it's a huge deal. Dabnat, I swear to God, we messed up the trade. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the trade. I mean, I put my video up, and the only things that changed after I put my video up were the... I have a Discord message here. The only things that got changed after that trade were 1.2 million retained every year, which is nice, but it's not a game changer. And then the other one was that the Canucks added a 2nd and a 7th. So I think those kind of wash anyways. So my opinion stands on that. Just realized my chat. My chat is working. Just as I was going to say that. Would you like Travis Boyd as our 4C? I didn't think Boyd showed much at all in his time for the Canucks. I wouldn't love it, but again, as a 4C, I'm not going to be super stressed out about who's our 4C. Let me turn up my volume here because the draft is starting. Don't trade Holtby. I think trading, like, if you can get anything for Holtby, I think it's the right move. Just because, hey, Quinn's there. What a guy. Because like I think if you can get anything for, because he has negative value on that contract, right? As long as you're not having to add, you know, more. Although the Canucks are clearly in win now mode, right? Get rid of all this bad cap, even if you have to throw picks at the wall to do it, to add. So if the Canucks end up doing like Holtby in a 3rd, I mean, I could see it, or Holtby in the 2nd, but hopefully not the 2nd, because there's going to be some good picks available at 41, it looks like, for the Canucks. Murray asks, are the picks NHL ready for the coming season? There's usually a couple that will be, but most of them aren't. Usually, most most of the time you'll see them wait a year on like the top 10. Maybe like the first 3 usually make it. Whoops. And then the remainder, you know, top 10 or maybe a year away, and then the rest of them a couple years or so. I heard Graevak's going to sign in Europe. Wish he could have stayed to be our 4th line center. I really liked Graevak this year. Honestly, I thought he was... I was impressed by Tyler Graevak's play. He did look like he was a good 4C. And I'm surprised he left for Europe, because I think he could have gotten a contract somewhere in the NHL to be a 4th line center. Sean, Hawks made a horrible trade for Seth Jones. I agree. We just went over that. That is an overpay and a half for a defenseman who had a not good year last year. A really not good year. Agam, you liked Graevak? I did too. Yeah, I thought he was good. Anyone who's new here, welcome. I hope you are having a good time. Just so you know, as we get into the draft, you know, obviously most of the people who watch my stuff are Canucks fans, because that's been what I've covered for most of my time. So you're going to ask Canucks questions. That's fine. Obviously now the Canucks don't have a pick in the first round here. We'll see if that changes at some point, but I am kind of doubting it unless Nate Schmidt gets involved and they're able to pull a first, which would be great. And Jim Benning literally said like 20 minutes ago that they're trying to, what was the word he used? It was like recover our picks, I think is the word he said. It was like, you wouldn't have to recover them if you didn't send them away. But so everything that is around the Canucks trade with Arizona, that was today, the sort of the biggest trade of the day for OEL and Connor Garland. Canucks After Dark, we're doing a bonus episode tonight at 10 o'clock. So if you don't know, I do a show every week, usually on Mondays or Wednesdays. We did one literally 2 days ago after the expansion draft. We're going to do another one tonight live at 10 o'clock. It's linked. I think I put it at the top of the description. And I'll check. Yeah, it says live at 10 p.m. and there's a link there. If you go to that link and you hit set reminder and make sure you're subscribed to Canucks After Dark, we'll talk a lot more about that trade in detail for probably about half an hour tonight. If you got nothing else going on at 10 p.m. So make sure you stick around for that. And I don't know what, I didn't watch Clay's video. Don't know what his take is. I'm sure it'll be a little more positive than mine. But mine wasn't very positive. What's up, Kanaki? How you doing? So yeah, I mean, they're showing the Seth Jones trade up right now, and that is a like the fact that they had to go 2 firsts and Adam Boqvist, who was an 8th overall pick 3 years ago, and has been pretty good. Adam Boqvist is crazy to me. That is a heck of a payment for Seth Jones, and then you got to go out and pay him $76 million. Time zone. Sorry, Nicole. It's at 10 p.m. Pacific. I will put that in. Put that Pacific in there. Yeah, Jones at 9.5 AV is bad. And I mean, like, you know, a couple years ago, you would have said, oh, 9.5, that's probably about right. But I mean, he's already 26, right? He'll be 27 by opening night this year, and you're signing him for 8 more. You're signing him until he's 34, right? And he already had a bad year. So even if he has a slight bounce back this year, and then that, you know, that age curve, right, when he's 30, it's not like Chicago's good right now, right? Chicago's not competing for a playoff spot right now. They're, you know, I mean, kind of, but they're about to have a rebuild. And that Jones contract is going to hurt them a lot, especially going like you're in sort of a mini rebuild and you just gave up your 8th overall pick defenseman and then 2 more firsts. Yeah, they got a first back, but it's 32nd overall, which will be worse than all 3 of those picks that Chicago gave up. So wild. If OEL bounces back, will you like the trade more? I don't think there's really a reason to assume that OEL will bounce back, right? He's 30. We've had 3 years of him in a row where he hasn't been great. And I think it's not a safe bet that he will, right? Maybe he'll be a little bit better, but in the last couple of years, he's literally been, you know, worth about, if you look at some models, $1 million, $1.5 million. Some, even if he's twice as good as that, and maybe he plays to a level where he's worth $4 million. That's still an inefficient contract, right? And especially because it's 6 more years. You're getting some short-term gain, getting out of some really bad contracts, adding 2 roster players, which is nice. Absolutely. but you're adding a ton of hurt down the road potentially, which we're just sort of getting out of with Louis Eriksson. It's like being in prison, right? This Louis Eriksson contract. You're in prison, the Eriksson, Beagle, Roussel contracts, right? You're in prison. You've been in prison for years, and you've got 1 week until you can get out. And then you like do something stupid in prison that adds years onto your sentence. When you were a week away, you're so close. Like, it's in reach. Like, he was so close. The cap hell was so close to being gone. So that's sort of my take on it. I just don't see any reason to believe he'll bounce back. If he does, that's great. But I think making the trade, it's not something you can bank on it. You could just trade his contract when he declines, but you'll have to pay to do it. Right? Like if 2 years from now he doesn't improve, you're going to have to give up a couple of first round picks to get rid of it. $20 million to sign Petey, Hughes, Garland, and Juolevi. Yeah. I mean, Garland, I'm thinking he'll be around 4. I mean, he scored on a 65-point pace last year. Can we trade Holtby for Carey Price? I don't think that would be a good move. I mean, that Carey Price contract, again, you're talking about for the next 5 years, you are stuck with Carey Price. And in regular seasons, he hasn't been good. Like, he's been bad in Carey Price has had like 3 bad regular seasons in a row. He's been excellent in the playoffs, but, you know, you need to get there. You got to get to the playoffs, right? And the Canucks don't need a starting goalie. Thatcher Demko, they're already paying $5 million a year. You don't want to be spending almost $17 million a year on 2 goalies. You can't afford to do that. So that wouldn't work. They'll get rid of, if Holtby gets traded tonight, we'll see. I think the Canucks would have to add to get that done, or at least retain salary. So I don't think any Holtby trade is going to be a big deal. But yeah. Yeah, if Garland gets under 4, if Garland's under 5, it's basically Beagle, Roussel, and Eriksson money on OEL and Garland. And I saw a lot of people who were like, yeah, this frees up cap space to sign Petey and Hughes this year. But it really doesn't, because you have to sign Garland, and the salaries end up being basically a wash at that point, because Garland's going to want to get at least decently paid, and he deserves it. He's a really good player. I have no problem with Connor Garland. Dave, you'd rather save judgment till the end of the offseason period? Yeah, I mean, I still think you don't, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, there could be more good moves that go along with it, and you can look at the entire offseason as a whole and say, well, it was fine. That doesn't really excuse the bad ones, though, because it could have been great. Bruins need some more defense with the loss of Miller. When did they lose Miller? Did he get traded? Am I crazy? What happened to Miller? Oh, he retired, right? Sorry, I'm dumb. Yeah, he retired. Yeah, the Bruins definitely do, and they lost, Jeremy Lozon as well. Yeah, I don't know what, I mean, they picked 21st, so, I mean, defensemen are always a safe bet in the draft. They're very valuable usually. Do the Canucks have the best top 9 in the league? I don't think so. I mean, your forward group great. And I mean, the Canucks forward group is great at this point, right? The top 9, Lotto line, Pettersson, Besser, and Miller, great. Horvat, Höglander, Garland, really good. And then like a Dickinson, Podkolzin, and whoever you want to put on that third line. Good, right? Fine. But then you look at the defense and there's no one there. No defense, just vibes. Absolutely. So when does the clock start, right? It's 5:11. It is 11 minutes after the NHL draft was supposed to start. When is Buffalo on the clock? That's my question. Have I missed any trades? I don't have Twitter open right now. I like this quote from Connor Garland. He says, "I just like to stand in front of the net. That's where the goals are." I love it. Last 2 seasons, the Bruins lost Chara, Krug, Miller, and Lozon have gained. Yeah, Riley. The thing about I mean, that's what happens when you have a really good team, right? Eventually you age out, right? You have a bunch of older guys like Chara and Miller, and then you have younger guys like Krug and Lozon. But if you want to maximize your older guys, you might trade your younger guys to try to go all in. If that doesn't work, you end up in the situation the Bruins are in. Been to Columbus for a second. Yes, I haven't put that in the ticker yet because typing is hard. But I can do that really quick here. Care trades Jake Bean to CBJ for second round pick. There. That'll be on the ticker up there. Oh, he's getting rid of the stash? I don't really... I guess I did see it, but yeah. Sometimes you gotta... So fresh start, you know? You gotta get the fresh, clean shaven. It's too hot out east, says Nicole. Yeah, we had a bad heat spell a couple weeks ago where we were in the 40s. Celsius, for those of you in the States watching. That's like 115. It was hot for a while. That's why I got my trusty air conditioner running behind me. It's just nice because I have a microphone that doesn't pick it up, so I can just have this thing blasting during the draft here. Because I live in a glass box, right? It's all windows. So and I have a computer streaming, which adds some heat. Thoughts on Kyra to Van? I would love it. Like he seems like an excellent guy. You know, from Surrey, hometown boy. It seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders, and you know he's a good player. I like Jujhar Khaira a lot. Nicole, does Besser have a no trade clause? So you can't have a no trade or a no move clause until you hit the age of 27. So until you're a unrestricted free agent. So that's why the guys like Connor McDavid doesn't have a no trade clause right now because he's not 27 yet. So Besser, Pettersson, anyone that's a restricted free agent cannot have a no trade or a no move clause. Yep, Agam, he does have a lot of concussions. Yeah, it's not ideal, and it makes it a little risky. How old is he? He's 26. I mean, yeah, if they can sign him for like 3 years, then I think you're okay. 2 or 3 years. I don't think he's going to be able to get much more. I think you're pretty safe there. And if he does have, you know, concussion problems and, you know, then you might have to dip into LTIR a little bit more, which is unfortunate, but, you know, you just got to hope it doesn't affect him. But yeah, he will be a UFA because they are not going to qualify him. That's pronounced Kara. I just go what they say on the broadcasts because I don't have more knowledge. I don't have any knowledge. It's bad that Bennett gave up a first to fix the mistakes he made. Yeah, I mean, it happens, you know. I mean, we saw the Islanders get out of the Ladd contract with a few seconds. We saw a couple years ago Toronto get out of that Marleau contract with a first. You know, cap space is so valuable, and that's where my problem with the trade really lies, is because, you know, in a cap league, you can get all the really good players you want, but if they're playing worse than their cap hit, then you can't win. I think the Sedins have smartened up betting. I think the Sedins also really like OEL as their Swedish boy. I saw a thing on Reddit, and they were like, maybe OEL's just not cared in Arizona, like he just hasn't been trying because it sucks there. Because it's a bad organization and he doesn't like it there. If that's the case and he comes to Vancouver a new man, rejuvenated, then sure. That's like the only way I see it working out. New number 23 in Van? I guess so, hey? Rip Alex Edler. Poor guy. Leaves immediately, like, as probably the best defenseman in Canucks history, like career-wise, immediately gets his number taken. When do the picks start to roll in? Like it's 5:17. ESPN pulls up a diagram explaining what a hockey puck is. Great tweet. What's your D lines for next year? I think it's too early. I think we'll see some sort of shakeup, especially with the Nate Schmidt thing. It's too early to tell. I'm sure that we'll talk about that on Canucks After Dark. We'll do some roster projections. We asked for Larson. They gave us Ekman Larson. Ah, darn it. That Adam Larson contract, I think, is a just a bullet for Seattle. 4x4 for Adam Larson. Seattle is laughing with a contract like that. It's like no risk, right? Only $4 million a year, and then they went out and signed Alexiak at like $5.6 million, which is kind of crazy. But Adam Larson will be a very good defenseman in Seattle, for sure. I was hoping the Canucks would get him, but Seattle got that. Seattle got priority there. Oh, we had our boy Gary. Let's pause the music. He looks a little ghastlier than usual. He's not moving. I feel like his head is being green screened onto his body. I was betting done getting top 9 forwards now. I would think so. You tried, Montreal. He is just staring daggers into that teleprompter. He has not blinked. Find the emoji, find the emoji, find the emoji. Gary's fuming because the Canucks are back. TVA. ESPN. Let's go. Walt Disney. He still hasn't blinked. Has he blinked yet? Can we get a blink counter on this? Like a Tyler Myers shift clock? I look down to tweet and then I look up and he's still not blinking. Still hasn't blinked. And it's over. That was wild to me. His eyes are going to be so his eyes are going to be so dry. He looks like he's being held hostage. He kind of is. All right, Buffalo Sabres are on the clock. Oh man, I could get the clock on this. I feel like there's already enough stuff going on here, but I kind of, yeah, it's 5 minutes. See if I can. You guys know me. I got to maximize production quality. Hopefully without crashing my computer. Let's do that. That is a flickering screen. We already know who you're taking. Yeah, you'd think so. Let's see if I can add video. Add this one. Yeah, I mean, if you're Buffalo, you might as well take all your time, right? All right, let's see what this does. Oh, there's my... Wow, you guys can see behind me. Hello. I'm literally doing this so we can grab the clock. Production value. The pick is in. Owen Power. All right. Exactly what we expected. That makes sense. Let's punch it in. First thing they mentioned is his height. Let's go. He says he's going back to Michigan this year. And, you know, defensemen, they usually don't make a splash year one. And you might want to stay out of Buffalo as long as possible. Rip his career. 6'6", 213. That's absurd at the age of 18. What a stud, too, hey? Oh, we had a count from Nuckbusters saying he counted 2 blinks the entire time for Jim. Or for Gary Bettman. Yeah, Rip Power's career. You thought you were tall, 6'1" at 16? Man, you guys make me feel like a short king out here. Just closing some stuff over here. So Owen Power is exactly what we expected. A big defenseman. Consensus number 1 pick. I think Bob said 10 out of his 10 scouts had Power number 1. So no surprise. We did hear that Buffalo's really in love with William Eklund. Buffalo does have the 14th pick. They might try to make some maneuvers, try to move back up, maybe to like 7th or 8th, try to get Eklund, even though he might go a little higher. But now we have the Kraken on the clock. Kraken are on the clock for their first NHL draft pick ever. I wonder if I can. Where should I put this? Put it up there. I want to get this perfect. Woo! I'll put it there. An absolute wagon. Old Bill Wang. Is it possible that all 3 sorry, let me start back here. Edward says show all of the screen. I can't. That's copyright. I can't just share Sportsnet's or the NHL Network's content. It's not allowed. If you want to watch the NHL Network feed, you can go find it somewhere else. Bill says, is it possible that the 3 most overrated D-men in the league get moved today? Yeah, Risto, Jones, and OEL all got moved today. Well, yeah, I mean, all 3 of them have not great contracts now. You forgot about Doughty. Doughty also has a terrible contract. Doughty's still getting paid $11 million, and he's very washed. Austin Matthews is a forward. Big brain trade. Power to the Canucks for this 2023 second and third. Fleece the Sabres. I like your thought. Just fleece the Sabres, right? Why not? Scotty asks, why aren't you streaming from the gym? I went already. Eichel trade incoming. That would be wild. That would be wild. All right, Seattle Kraken still a minute 26 on the clock here. The grind don't stop. That is true. That is true. I'm about the grind set. Yeah, just fleece the Sabres. That easy. Pick is in. Oh. Gary looks a little smug. Why is he all like... He's kind of vibing his head. I think it's Beniers, right? Matty Beniers. It's what we expected. A really high-end center. You cannot go wrong. The Zoom feed is broken for them. But you know, you're getting a really good center. A little light, you know, 6'2", 175, but you can always put on muscle. That's easy. Yeah, no surprises here. Beniers is a rich boy. It's Beniers, Anaheim up next. Bob McKenzie says that Anaheim is most likely to take a forward over a defenseman, which might mean Simon Edvinsson will drop here. Might be all the way available at 5 for Edvinsson. So we could see Anaheim go Eklund here. We could see him go McTavish. You think Luke Hughes here for Anaheim? I'm going to trust Beniers looks like an investment banker. Yeah, Bob says they're most likely to take a forward. So Eklund, McTavish, Guenther, the top 3 forwards left according to Bob McKenzie's list. We will see what direction the Duckskis go here. That was Kevin Weeks everywhere. Ow. Matty Beniers. Sorry, hold on. I got to change it. He just said his name is not Matt or Matthew. It's like a Mikey DiPietro scenario here. Matty Beniers. There we go. It's fixed. It's fixed. He's happy. Who's picking 11th? Nobody's picking 11th, Edward. Nobody is picking 11th. Arizona had the 11th overall pick. And they broke some rules a couple years ago regarding draft combine testing. And because of that, they got their 11th overall pick taken away this year. So it's just no one. It'll go from 10 down to 12. New Jersey will pick Hughes. They might, but it's dangerous. It's dangerous to bank on, you know, on like picking someone because he's your teammate's brother. If I'm New Jersey and I really want Hughes, I might be trying to trade down to 6th. Like, see if Detroit wants to move up and leapfrog Columbus or something like that. So could do something like that. Guys, make sure you hit the like button, by the way, while you're hanging out here. I always appreciate it. All right, Anaheim's got 2 minutes left on the clock. Like Bob said, likely a forward here. 3 good options available. But 3 really good defensemen on the board. That Beniers pick is going to be really good for Seattle. Especially, I mean, with the expansion draft, Seattle didn't get like a good bunch of centers, right? Especially high end. You know, Yanni Gourde's great. But like on their second line center, what, they got like Calle Yarncroke? Maybe Jared McCann. So you actually have a guy in Beniers who can come in this year or next year and actually slot in pretty high up the lineup. Kanaki asks if we'll see game recaps next year. Potentially. I haven't decided what I'm going to do next year. I've put a little thought into it, but not a lot. Trying to think of the best thing to do. Might start doing them. I'd prefer to do them live, I think, but I don't want to infringe on Clay's live streams. Agam, I just had a stare down with me and I think I won. Well, you lost to Gary. I'll tell you that much. Gary Bettman had your number on that stare down. Catflix. I love the good commercials we get up here. Oh, Beniers is a theater kid. Interesting. 71 people hype. Yes, thank you everyone for stopping by. If you're new here, my name is Parker. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Well, I'm now seeing that Connor Garland mustache, and that is that's a stash. That is a heck of a stash. you have the pick in yet? Yeah, it is a GOAT stash, absolutely. I'm excited for Connor Garland. He's going to, like, he's a really good player. Boom, boom. Wow, is that Ryan Reynolds in a movie? Bob McKenzie is saying it's going to be likely Mason McTavish. Mason McTavish expected to go number 3 to Anaheim here. Bob had him tied for 4th with Eklund on his board. He wants some info on Mason McTavish. Rated as low as 13th by Smart Scouting. I'm assuming that's in Boston. Ranked as high as number 2 by NHL Central Scouting. But most ranks have him around 7 to 10. But it looks like Anaheim's going to make the Mason McTavish pick at number 3. The clock disappeared. That's because it's a commercial. I'm literally just it's my camera pointing at my TV, so I can show it now because it's the TV that's not commercial anymore. Look at that. The Honda Center. I like they just put this big, like they set up this like really nice tables at center ice. They could have just done it from like their draft room. Like if you watch the NFL draft from this last year, they're literally just all in their like boardrooms. So we will see if it's Mason McTavish. Maybe a bit of a reach, you know, based on like Dauber has him at 11th. Sportsnet has him at 8th. McKean's has him at 7th. Elite Prospects has him at 5. So let's see here. Bob Murray to make the pick. Bob McKenzie says Mason McTavish. Mason McTavish. Bob McKenzie nailed it. No relation to Craig McTavish. I said that at the exact same time as the broadcast. That is some hair, though. Folks, this boy's got some hair. Let's see if I can bring it over. Oh, I can't grab it. My chair's in the way. So, NHL Network had him at number 9 on their prospects list. In the OHL, 57 games, only 29 goals. Now, 29 goals is a lot in 57 games, but only 13 assists. Normally, you see a lot of guys in their draft year putting up about a point a game or more in the CHL, whether that's OHL, WHL, QMJHL. But I think size is playing a part here. 6'2", 207. 207 is a big boy. But you got to think, you know, being 6'2", 207, playing in junior, you are one of the biggest guys on the ice, and that's going to help you excel. So Mason McTavish going 3rd, played for the Pembroke Lumber Kings before that. And I think a big part of him getting drafted here, that was last year that he played for Peterborough. So this previous year, 2020, 2021, he played for EHC Olten in the Swiss League, had 9 goals and 2 assists, 11 points. Maybe they don't really keep track of assists in the Swiss League, but only 2 assists. But he did play for Canada. He captained the under-18 squad at the under-18 World Championships for Canada. 1 gold, 7 goals. 7 games, 5 goals, 6 assists for 11 points as well. He'll be a good player, but according to some of the lists we've seen, potentially a bit of a reach here. Slight reach, but again, what do I know, right? These scouts do this for a living. So New Jersey on the clock here. This is an interesting one because there's... Let me take McTavish off of our available board here. See if I can just pull that off the list. So Here, I'll actually put TSN in the title there. So obviously everyone says, Luke Hughes. They've got Jack already. So that's sort of like the easy pick. Like you can say like, oh yeah, they already have one Hughes brother. They can pick the other one. But if there's better players available, then you're kind of crazy not to take better players. So Luke Hughes, let me pull up Luke Hughes here. Luke Hughes is ranked 11th by Elite Prospects, number 3 by FC Hockey, number 4 by McKeen's, number 5 by Craig Button, number 6 by Sportsnet. So he's between like 4 and 8 usually. So we could see New Jersey going Luke Hughes here for the brother factor. But if you're looking at this and maybe you weren't expecting Edvinsson to be available and you think Simon Edvinsson might be a better defenseman, then I think, BPA still stands here. Why are you spamming Cole Caulfield, Nathan? Nathan putting that slow-mo to the test. Okay, let's quick refresh. 1:41 on the clock. Let's see here. What was I looking at? Oh, that's what I was looking at. Did Agam time him out? Nice. I'm gonna untime you out. You're fine. Actually, I don't think I can untime someone out. I think I just retimed you out. Sorry, Nathan. You're back in 5 minutes. You didn't mean that long. I just Yeah, I think it's a default 5 minutes. Sorry about that, Nathan. Hope that didn't get you to leave. But you'll be back chatting in 5 minutes. All right, so on this board, they have Luke Hughes at 4. They have Guenther higher. They have Edvinsson all the way down at 7. So, let's pull up Edvinsson here. Where's Edvinsson? He was ranked 8th by Elite Prospects, but as high as number 3 by Sportsnet. So Edvinsson's quite a controversial pick. 6'5", 207. A big boy, Edvinsson. But it could very well be Luke Hughes here. Brandt Clarke, also a defenseman on the board, as Kevin Weeks is saying. Definitely a lot of good options here. Zero G, hello. Not surprised by the first 3. You think New Jersey's gonna get Luke to play with Jack? I think they might. They only have 9 seconds. They gotta get their pick in, otherwise someone can snipe them. Here we go. Pick is in. Tom Fitzgerald to make the pick. The floor is yours, Tom. Oh, they got Highway to Hell going in there. They're fired up. Lots of Luke signs. Nathan got jailed. Any service allows you to time people out. Here we go. Man, people cannot speak on the draft floor. They did it. Luke Hughes to the Devils. That is a pick. Take him off the board, and we keep moving on. So, a bit of a surprise. I mean, not really a bit of a surprise. So, if you're looking at, Jack's on that team, but if you're just looking at best player available, I'm kind of surprised. But, oh, Jack's fired up. Quinn's happy for them. Uh-oh, now the Canucks got to sign Quinn quickly, hey? Quinn's the best, and he went the lowest in the draft. Yeah, he did. 7th. That's a pretty impressive tandem, though, right? Hey? You have 3 brothers. They were picked 1st, 4th, and 7th in the NHL draft. That's nuts. James, love that the season's going back to normal. The division only games was, yeah, it was kind of boring. You're saying you miss seeing all the teams like the Leafs, Ducks, Sharks, and Flames. I did not miss the Anaheim Ducks. I'll tell you that. That is, yeah, I mean, that's, it is going to be nice to have things going back to normal though, going back to, the players we expect to, playing in one division. It's hard to tell, right? It's like, oh yeah, like Toronto was the best in the North, but how does that relate to the rest of the league? And all these teams were in X position in their division, but you compare that to the rest of the NHL, and you just there was no real comparison. Arjan says Quinn requests a trade. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, Quinn. Well, Quinn's gonna get a contract here. It'll probably be 3 years, a bridge deal, and he'll still be an RFA after that, so it'll be fine. The Hughes what LeVar Ball wishes he was. I like the miniseries against other teams. I did too. I was hoping they'd go with that, right? Like have more just back to backs. The NHL's done a lot of home and homes over time, where it's like you play in one arena. You see this happen, like if the Canucks are playing Calgary, for example, they'll play one night in Vancouver, the next night in Calgary. Just seems like extra travel, right? Do these like 3-game sets in one arena, especially in division. And it builds up some more animosity, some more rivalry, which we really liked. And I think the NHLPA, most of the players voted that was what they liked as well. But the NHL just couldn't really tuck that into the season this year. So it's not going to be too much of that, which kind of sucks. Agam saying this is Eklund. If this is Eklund, Detroit is getting some good drop. I mean, it's not really a good drop. Eklund's going to be a heck of a player. I mean, we know Buffalo was really in on Eklund, but they picked Power first. Obviously, we'll see what Columbus does here. They just made a big trade. They now pick. Remember, Columbus picks here, and they also pick 12th or 11th now because the 11th pick is forfeited. But Columbus has 2 picks in the top 12 or top 11, so they could get. If they go with an Eklund here, they could still get like a Fabian Lysell, or maybe someone like higher up this list drops down to them at 11. And they could get 2 really good players in exchange for losing Seth Jones today. Bob McKenzie says Columbus is up next at 5, looking for offense. So he's saying Guenther, Eklund, and Kent Johnson are the logical candidates. Bob is saying smart money is on Kent Johnson here. Now, Kent Johnson is someone I wanted the Canucks to pick at 9. But if he is going to go this high, that's really interesting. Because if Eklund is still available at 6, that is nice for Detroit. If Eklund falls to 9, I'm going to be salty. So, according to the NHL, Guenther's still number 1 on their board right now, number 3 on their list overall. But Bobby Margarita is saying he's thinking it's going to be Kent Johnson. If Brandt or Eklund fall, I'm done. Yeah, I could see Brandt falling. I don't see Eklund falling. I think lots of teams really, really like William Eklund. If Brandt falls, you'll be pissed. Yeah, it's not a huge fall. Projected by 4th at Elite Prospects. Top 5 on a lot of drafts. Let's see where Columbus goes here. Whoops. All right. About to announce it. Let's bring in someone else in here. An Ohio guy. Oh, your mic cut out there in the middle of that. Oh, that is some red face. Brent would have given Hughes a line partner, man. Well, we don't know if he's going to fall. Look, there's still 4 more picks before the Canucks here, although maybe only 3 if this is going to end up being Kent Johnson, as Bobby Margarita is guessing here. Maybe, hey, maybe the Canucks can pull, you know, Columbus already has a first round pick. Maybe they can try to send Schmidt there and pull that back, you know? Kirk Herbstreit. We'll say Kent Johnson. So Kent Johnson, the Port Moody native, is going to the Columbus Blue Jackets. I'm surprised it's not Eklund, but I really like Kent Johnson. He's the guy who said he models his game after Pettersson. He looks like a heck of a player. And he could be a star for Columbus. Miller for 12th overall. Who says no? It wouldn't make sense with what the Canucks are trying to do right now, but I think it's good value. Hey, Tanner, how's it going? Thank you for subscribing. James, kind of moving here. Let me pull it up on the side. Back-to-back games would make more sense too. More of a reason to travel for games. Go to different arenas for 2 or 3 games instead of a single game. Yeah, right? Like you could go to a city and maybe they play Thursday and Saturday night. You can go to a couple games, right? Make some road trips a little more fun. Let's take Kent Johnson off of our board here. Oh, I think my Streamlabs broke. You guys still hear me? Johnson off of our... Yeah, it's still working. Oh, I think... Yeah, it's still working. It's just frozen. I'll try to change this in a second here. But it looks like my program's broken that allows me to change all this text. There's so much text going on that it gets sad sometimes and breaks. And we're back. All right. Top available. Let's take Kent Johnson off the list. There we go. We got 2 goalies now in our top 10 remaining. Let's see here. Where were we? Kent Johnson, okay. Is a steal. Owen Power deserves a better team than Buffalo. Most players deserve a better team than Buffalo. Yeah, see, everyone in Buffalo deserves a better team than Buffalo. We're on the same page here. Same wavelength. What's up, Jaden? How you doing? Hope you're having a good time. So Detroit on the clock. Let's see if we have any rumors coming through here. The fact that Eklund is still on the board. Eklund is going to be so good for 10 deserves Buffalo. Yikes. Go Canucks. I agree. Nice. Detroit will probably pick Lysell. If I'm Detroit and I'm interested in Lysell, I'm trying to like make a trade back, right? Like I'm calling up Ottawa, I'm calling up Columbus, I'm calling up Arizona, and I'm saying, if I'm really into Lysell, I'm saying, hey, Eklund is available here. Eklund's going to be a star. Let's make a deal, and you can come get Eklund, and we'll drop down. If they're really sold on Lysell. There we got Tegan sub. Thank you. Welcome. Where were we? 107 viewers. Yes. Thank you. Welcome everyone for hanging out here. Glad you are with me. I was thinking of not even doing this after the Canucks traded the 9th overall pick, but we're not all Canucks fans here, so it ad. I'm sorry. Sorry, Kenley. See, I have 109, but I bet like some of the other people have a ton right now. How's Clay's doing? I hope Clay's is doing well. He's got 65. Another sub from Kyle Hart. Thank you. Welcome. What's up, my boy? Asked Tegan. Not too much. We're just chilling. Yeah, no trades yet. No one trading down. And usually this early in the draft, if you really like a guy, like let's say you really like a guy that most teams might have a couple picks lower than you, usually it's best to just take that guy instead of dropping, right? We saw this with Elias Pettersson for the Canucks when the Canucks were thinking about dropping down in the draft because Pettersson might still be available later. But then they heard that the Rangers might try to sneak in and steal him. And they said, you know what, we'll just take Pettersson at 5, even though that might not be maximum value. And it worked out great because if you have a guy who you really like, sometimes you just take him because it's safer. Thoughts on the Kent Johnson pick? I like it. I really like, I mean, because I thought he was going to be around for the Canucks at 9, so I kind of sold myself on Kent Johnson. He's looking sweet. Bob McKenzie is saying it might be Edvinsson. Top D-man available here. You guys have Stankoven. 6th, 7th. I think he's projected like in the 20s. Is that why PD hasn't signed? No, I think they're just waiting on Pettersson because he's an RFA. There's no real hurry. No one's going to offer sheet him because no one makes offer sheets in this league because it's kind of a boring league. Kind of a snoozer of a league. Yeah, Kent Johnson's going to be sweet. Ayo, there's 2 Mullins. Yeah, are you guys related? You guys both, I've seen you both for the first time right now. So, Columbus might be playing 3D chess, low key. Not even 4D chess? Chicago might not make the playoffs, and Columbus will have the extra pick. Yeah, there was nothing saying it was lottery protected next year. So that would be interesting because Chicago is on the downslope. And that would look really, really bad for Chicago if they ended up winning the lottery or something next year. And Columbus ends up getting that pick. Especially getting 12th overall this year. More trades from Benning, yes or no? I'm sure he's trying. I'm sure he's trying to move Schmidt, maybe try to get back in the first round. He did say in an interview earlier today that he's trying to recover the picks that they lost today. It's like, I mean, you lost them because you made a trade. I don't know if you really lost them. So he said he's trying to make some moves. I think we'll see something either today or whether it's like making a Schmidt move tomorrow and like getting into the second round or something. Then we could see that. I think the Canucks pick 41st tomorrow. Thanks for the sub, Paul. Appreciate it. Got that good Owen Power interview. He looked a little sad. All right, Red Wings pick is in. Stevie Y is at the table. Drinking some good Aquafina, it looks like. Let's see what they do here. 6th overall. Can you blame him for being sad? No, that's why I brought it up. Ten-year-old Harold Washington Jr. going to make the pick. Could you imagine they get one of these kids to go up and make a pick, and he doesn't like who they're going to pick, so he's like, no, we're taking Brandt Clarke, and he just like says the wrong thing. Chaos will be awesome. They're taking Simon Edvinsson. Wow. All right. So William Eklund still on the board at 7. This is that's a drop, hey? I really like Eklund. But Simon Edvinsson, you know, he's big. I think he's like 6'5", or he's 6'4", apparently. You know, he's I think a good defensive defenseman. It's a good pick. You know, they've got him. They got Seider. They're, let's see if I can find his name. William Eklund. Why can't I find him on here? William Eklund. So Eklund is still available on the board here. He is ranked number 2 by Elite Prospects, number 3 on the TSN rankings, number 1 by EU Central Scouting, number 2 by Dauber Prospects, number 3 by McKean's Hockey, and he's still on the board at 7. San Jose could be getting a heck of a player here at 7th overall. If Eklund's still available at 9, then my opinion on this Canucks trade will be even worse. Edvinsson could become really good. And again, it's one of those things where Stevie Y seems to know what he's doing. So yeah, Arjan saying the same thing. I have trouble betting against him on the draft floor. So let's take a look. I've got his stats right here. So he's playing in the Swedish League last year. Played 10 games in the SHL, had 1 assist. Nice. At the U18s, he put up 4 points in 7 games, 8 penalty minutes. He's a defenseman, right? And he's a more defensive defenseman. He's not putting up a ton of points. He is going to be a good, maybe a top 4 defenseman. I think you'd be happy with that if you're Detroit, but he does have the potential to get a little higher. Eklund's a poor man's Lysell. Interesting. Because, lots of people, Lysell's just not ranked that high by most scouts. He's usually in the double digits. Dauber has him at number 3, but most are around 10, 11, 14, somewhere in there, around Lysell. Could have high upside, though, right? Scouts don't know everything. Is Edler gone? Yes, it looks like it. Vancouver would have had the chance to draft Eklund, Wallstedt, or Brandt. Yeah, Wallstedt is an interesting one here. These first-round goalies are wild. Because it's risky taking a goalie first round, but sometimes, they can be very good. Agam, no, you have to pay attention to this draft. Stop. People have to stay. Yeah, Matty Beniers really does look like an investment banker, doesn't he? That's hilarious. There he is. He's got his Galaxy buds in. Oh, you meant to not have a pick? Maybe. Asian goalie would be really interesting about contracts we're going to sign. Yeah, there's a lot of contracts that need to be signed. I know Jim Benning has said a lot that, you can never have too many goalies, right? I mean, sure, you have Demko, your starter, for at least the next 5 years, but most goalies take 4 or 5 years to even play in the NHL. So just having organizational depth in net is always a good thing. So I can see teams, being really excited about Wallstedt or Cossa and making that move happen early. And San Jose doesn't have goalies, do they? Martin Jones is done. Aaron Dell's gone. They traded that one goalie and got a different one back. They got Aiden Hill now, right? Wallstedt would come in when Demko's on the way out. I mean, yeah, Demko would probably only be 29 or 30, so I wouldn't say he'd be on the way out, but yeah, it would be a good option to have for sure. It's always good to have organizational depth in every position. I'm really not paying attention to this interview. I want to see San Jose's taking their sweet time on this pick. Still 36 seconds to go on the clock. It's been an hour. We've gone through 6 picks. We might be here all night, but I hope not. Is that Jackie Redmond? Canucks have too much goalie depth. Yeah, but not really, because the odds of a goalie making it aren't that high. So just have more. More goalies is good. Looking for some Bobby Margarita insight here. JD Burke says he'll be very surprised if the Sharks pass on Eklund. Gord Miller thinks that they're going to take Brandt Clarke. So a couple of options here. Yeah, we'll talk a lot more about the Canucks on Canucks After Dark tonight. Live at 10 o'clock. We'll discuss that trade a lot more in depth. And that's linked to the top of the description where it says live at 10 p.m. You can click on that, hit that set reminder, and come join the podcast tonight, 10 o'clock. Canuck Clay and I talking a lot about today's draft and about the trade. And I'll put this link in the chat for you guys too. if you are interested in swinging by later on. Click on that, click set reminder, and then come right back here. Here we go. San Jose about to make their pick. Doug Wilson Jr., Director of Scouting. Oh, that flow. He's got the shark behind him. Yo, that's sick. William Eklund. Okay. Good pick here. I like this pick a lot. He is going to be a heck of a player. Not surprised that... I'm surprised he dropped to 7th. But you have a guy who put up 23 points at the age of 18 in the SHL. 17, 18-year-old in the SHL. That's good numbers. Yes, the Canucks still have their second-round pick this year. Yes, 1 a.m. Yeah, Canucks After Dark's at 1 a.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific. I'm just watching these Eklund clips. He skates well. Those jerseys are interesting. Speedy skater with great acceleration, competitive, hardworking, two-way player. NHL Network had him at number 5. I know lots of places had him higher than that. Number 2 on Elite Prospects. Basically, everyone had him between 2 and 7. No one had him lower. He drops to 7. LA on the clock. We'll take Eklund off of our top available list here. So... Clarke, best defenseman left. And you can see we literally have no more defensemen on our board here in our next 10. So that's interesting because, you know, if you want a defenseman, now's the time. I could see them going Clarke here. Let's see what else we've got here. Wow, according to Top Down Hockey's model, William Eklund ranked 71% of becoming a star NHL player based on NHL expected, and a 97% chance of becoming a full-time NHL player. So that is very good. Ranked number 1 chance in the entire draft of becoming a star player, number 3 of becoming an NHLer. Now, again, these models aren't the be-all, end-all, but that's just based on this one particular model, which is just interesting. Can we get to Foley back? Probably not. I think he's happy in Montreal. Trying to find the salute gift that I want. That's the gif I want. All right. LA Kings got Brandt Clarke available, Guenther available as the best available. Let's see where they go. So Brandt Clarke going to LA, the 4th D-men selected. This is a good pick. I mean, it just is. You know, you look at him on the draft boards. Elite Prospects has him at 4. Craig Button has him at 2. Swartzen has him at 7. At all of these rankings that Elite Prospects consolidates, no one had him lower than number 7. Most of them between 2 and 6. Brandt Clarke to the Kings. That's going to be great for them. You know, they're in the heart of their rebuild, and that's going to be a nice piece to have for the LA Kings. If we were picking, this would be like the worst case scenario for us. Yeah, I think Guenther would be, you know, the best available left. But no Brandt Clarke, no Kent Johnson, no Luke Hughes available at 9. Let's see where Guenther ranks. Most scouting organizations have, actually every single one has Guenther in the top 10. So we could see Arizona go that direction. We did hear that part of the reason Arizona wanted that 9th overall pick so bad was because of Kent Johnson, who got selected number 5. So he's obviously not available there. Yeah, we are close to Columbus's 2nd pick. It'll be interesting if Columbus makes that pick, or if they try to make a trade and reload here. You know, they have Boquist. I don't think they really got worse in that trade, right? They added picks and they swapped Jones for Boquist, who's also a fine defenseman. So I think I could see them trying to maybe reload a little bit, add a roster player potentially. We'll see. I would rather trade the Canucks next year's first instead of this year's first. If it was lottery protected, maybe. But I don't know. Depends where they end up. Chance that Columbus takes a goalie because of Kivalenkis. Could potentially. I don't know what their goaltending depth looks like. I'm sure they're pretty happy with Elvis. But it'll be definitely interesting. The thing about a goalie, though, is like if you're taking a goalie for the future, like not for any time soon. You're taking him for a well down the line. Isn't next year's law just for the top 2? Yeah. And you can't move up more than 10 picks. So if you have like the 14th pick, the best you could move up to would be 4th. They also have Korpisalo. That is right. Yes. I don't know who the guy is on the far right of the analyst desk, but I don't like him that much. He doesn't really add much to the conversation. He was like, "Yep, this is a good pick for LA," which, I mean, look, that's kind of what I'm doing too, but I'm not getting paid by the NHL Network to do so. Table of Contents asks, do you think Aito Iguchi gets drafted tomorrow? I don't know. No idea. I haven't looked too far in Rangers old GM. Fair enough. How would 14 move to 4? Because they're changing the draft lottery rules where you can only move up a maximum of 10 spots. So if like the 13th overall team won the draft lottery, they'd only move up to number 3. All right, let's take a look here. 140 of you guys in here. Welcome everyone who's new. If you're having a good time, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button while we're on this little commercial break. Now let's see if we get any updates on who Arizona might be looking to pick here. JD Burke says he's not surprised to see Guenther fall all the way to number 9 or further. The industry was very low on his U18 play. So apparently his U18s weren't good, and that has caused him to drop on a lot of boards. Yeah, I think if you're the Canucks, you're pretty happy that that most of the guys you were expected to be able to pick from all got taken here. Aguchi's like 5'2". Yeah, I haven't even heard of him. I'll look it up though. Oh, it's this kid who had like clips when he was really young of him just being elite. I don't even think he has an elite prospects page. Oh, he's still not eligible yet? He's 17. 5'3", 117 pounds? 117 pounds, that's crazy. I would be dead if I weighed 117 pounds. Yeah, I remember the clips of him too, Aisha, but he's 17. August birthday. He turns 18 in like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks. His birthday year is 2003. Turns 18 this year. Do the Canucks still make the same trade if they had the 4th pick over 9th? No. The 4th pick is probably about twice as valuable over 9th typically in a draft. I can pull up. I actually have like the Athletics like put together a list of average value based on historical draft picks. It's about 30% more valuable, or 50% more valuable, the 4th overall pick. Yeah, he is eligible. It's wild. I don't know. Maybe he goes like, maybe someone takes a shot in the 7th round, but I kind of doubt it. Thanks, Nicole. Thanks for subscribing. I wish this would load faster. So slow. I remember watching his videos. Yeah, it feels like that's right. Yeah. Yeah, 4th and 9th difference between a superstar and all-star. Maybe in a draft like this, it's the difference between a star and like a middling player. Potentially. So they take Guenther at 9. It's a good pick. Again, like I said, apparently his stock. Yes, the Canucks traded the pick. Yep. Apparently his stock dropped at the U18s because he didn't do much. Let's pull up his stats here. At the U18s, he had 7 points in 7 games, but apparently it wasn't too impressive. Played 12 games for the Edmonton Oil Kings this year, had 24 points. And then last year, he was a point a game as well. 12 goals, 12 assists in 12 games is very good. Hey, Bolester John, thanks for the follow. I don't know what's that follow from? Is that on Twitch? Why did it say follow? Normally it doesn't make a sound if it's a subscriber. I don't have my, hold on. Can I, where's my, this one. Give me a mini feed here. Bolester John followed me on Twitch. Thank you. Premium Burgers Puck subs. That was just a Twitch follow. It was very loud. I'm going to can I go back? Sorry, just trying to sort my stuff out here. I don't want to lose my audio. Put that back up, and I just wanted to, maybe I can't lower my alert sounds. Whatever, that's fine. Thanks for the Twitch follow though. Let's take Guenther off of our top available list. So everyone that TSN projected to go in the top 10 has gone in the top 9 has gone in the top 9. Ottawa on the clock here. Agam says this is 100% a goalie. Interesting. You are an insider. Whoa, is 3-on-3 basketball on at the Olympics right now? That's pretty fun, hey? The fact that the Olympics has 3-on-3 basketball, I want to watch some of that. It looks sick. Alrighty. Yikes. So Matty Beniers, in his first interview, drafted by Seattle, by the way, said he grew up as a Patriots fan, and he said he liked the Seahawks because they gave us a Super Bowl. I am no longer a Matty Beniers fan. I hope he fails in the NHL. Thanks for the Twitch follow, Leaf Sister. Is that as loud? Is that loud? Is that way too loud? Let me see if I can turn that down. Feels loud. Media, volume. Bring that down to like 28. Should be better. Yep. We all hate Beniers. It's not too loud? Okay. It was just really loud for me, but it's because the only sound I have on is coming from my TV and I have it mixed really low. So I just have my volume wonky. Go Giants. Okay. Beniers' comment reminds me of Bettman. Saying his favorite JLA. What's JLA? Am I missing something here? Ottawa will not take the goalie, says Edward. I think he's talking about the New York Giants because we're talking about football. Vancouver Giants. Canucks fans will be keeping an eye on Dylan Guenther for the next 6 years or so. Yes, Seahawks did play Super Bowl twice, and they won one. And you know what? That one was a very happy day for me. All right, pick is in for Ottawa. We'll see who it is. I mean, there's good players left still. Jesper Wallstedt is supposed to be a heck of a goalie. Excuse me. Let me move this over a little bit. Let's see here. Do you prefer the trade Jimbo made or the rumor of 9th for Reinhart? I don't know. I don't really like either. I just don't like the OEL contract. I'm fine with trading the 9th pick. I just don't really like. I just think that OEL contract's gonna hurt. Joe Louis Arena. Right. I abbreviated. I would not have guessed that. Arjan says Wallstedt. See if we have anything coming through here. It is interesting that Ottawa's about to make a pick, and this is a good point made by Trevor Martins, who used to be the program director at TSN 1040 Vancouver, saying a Canadian team's about to pick, and instead of talking about the team, we're watching a Ron Francis interview. And it's because there's no specialized coverage from a Canadian network. Here we go. Canadian Tire Center, the Ottawa Senators. Who's it going to be? Let's take a look. Garland is really good. I really like Connor Garland. Ooh, a little French coming from Pierre here. Whoa. Whoa. Tyler Boucher going 10th overall. Now, if you're wondering who that is, because he's not on my list here, you're not alone. Let me... Okay. Tyler Boucher is ranked number 45 by Elite Prospects, number 93 by FC Hockey, number 49 by Craig Button, number 63 by McKean's Hockey, number 25 by North American NHL Central Scouting, number 57 by Draft Prospects Hockey, and number 51 by the Puck Authority. Bob McKenzie's ranking had him at 29, the only ranking that had a first round grade. This is the first off the board pick. We've seen a couple that have been like a slight reach, maybe like that Mason McTavish pick. But again, that's still like, it's fine. It's a top 10 pick, whatever. Tyler Boucher, not really a first round. Wow. His page is already updated on Elite Prospects. It says round 1, number 10 overall. That is off the board. The son of Brian Boucher. Whoa. Bob McKenzie says, the most common scout comment on Boucher during my interviews was, quote, he's not Tom Wilson, but he plays like Tom Wilson. So apparently a Tom Wilson-esque physical guy. But like, if you liked this guy, could you not have traded down even to like 15 or 20 and probably still get this guy? Right? You probably could have picked up a 3rd round pick in the process if you really liked this kid. Didn't they pick like Jake Sanderson too? And that was like a reach. So they picked Jake Sanderson, number 5 last year. And that was like noted as a reach, and he hasn't looked great this year. Let's pull up. I'm going to pull up the JFresh prospect cards. If you don't know who JFresh is, he has a Twitter account and a Patreon. And he has... sorry, I just got to find it here. Do I have his prospect cards? I do. And basically he uses models and makes nice little graphics. So Tyler Boucher here, if I go to, I can just go here and I'll just take a screenshot. And if I save this, save it, go here, grab my screenshot. So this is Tyler Boucher's prospect card. Ranked 30th in NHL expected value to become a star and 42nd in chance to become an NHLer. Looks like about a 20% chance of becoming a consistent NHL player. So, yeah, a wild. Number 11 is forfeited by Arizona because they broke some rules when it comes to the scouting process a couple years ago. So they got their pick taken away, and we skipped to 12th overall. Columbus Blue Jackets making their second pick of the night. And they're taking Cole Sillinger. Ranked number 11 on our board. Let's pull him up here. Cole Sillinger. Ranked number 12 by Elite Prospects. Basically, everyone had him ranked between about 10 and 15. So, 12th overall, the 11th pick of the draft. Fine pick. Cole Sillinger is a center. He had 46 points in 31 games in the USHL for Sioux Falls. NHL Network had him ranked at 12th on their prospect list. So a fine pick, in my opinion, for Cole Sillinger. Nothing off the board crazy here like Tyler Boucher. I got to scroll down here and take Boucher off my list at 29. Don't do that. Yes, thank you, Gmod. Thoughts on the Nedeljkovic trade? Weird. Nedeljkovic looked good. It's a cost-saving move from Carolina. They're pinching pennies over there. Trading him for Bernier. I mean, he was a Calder, like, he was in the conversation at least somewhat for the Calder. Absolutely bizarre that they just let him go. Oh, is this the don't do that raid? I see. Okay. Hey, Clay, thank you for sending people over here. That's why you're all saying don't do that. I forgot to... I got to put some spaces here behind Sillinger's name. Thanks, Clay. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to my draft coverage. We are 12 picks in here. And don't forget, those of you coming from Clay's channel, that we've got Canucks After Dark tonight, 10 p.m. Pacific. It's linked right at the top of the description. So click on that. Make sure you have your reminder set for that, and you're subscribed to the Canucks After Dark channel, and you're subscribed to this channel as well. The don't do that raid. I love it. Thank you, guys. Welcome, welcome. So 13th pick, division rival for the Vancouver Canucks, the Calgary Flames. Have a good one, Clay. Good luck on your paper. See you at 10 o'clock. Cole Sillinger is also from Columbus. Interesting. Thanks for that tidbit, Kyle. So yeah, Blue Jackets have one more first-round pick down at 25th overall. It's going to be a good day for the Blue Jackets. So he said Seth Jones trade ends up being for Sillinger and next year's first. Doesn't matter who Calgary takes because he's going to be bad. Oh yeah, and they don't pick 32nd. They traded that pick in the Blackhawks deal for Seth Jones. Adam asked what I thought of the Guenther pick. It made sense. Looking at just the scouting reports that I've looked at, he was sort of the best guy left. Apparently his draft stock had dropped a bit from his U18 performance. That wasn't that great. But at the end of the day, I think they made a solid pick there. Calgary needs a young goalie. Could be, yeah, they do. Taylor Connors asks who takes Wallstedt and Cossa. I don't know. I don't know who's going to go for goalies. Because if you need a goalie right now, drafting a goalie doesn't really help you, right? Like, that's a few years down the line. Broxty does not like the Guenther pick. It's fine, Kenley. The logos are small. Especially if you're like watching on a phone. HSM, I put a video out on my thoughts on that OEL trade, and I will talk about it a lot more tonight, but I was not a big old fan of it. Samuel. Why can't I? Samuel says, why the heck won't the Oilers just trade for Hamilton's rights and sign him long term, or just make deals to get better? What, you didn't think the Duncan Keith trade makes them a lot better, or losing Adam Larson, that makes them better, right? Yeah, Edmonton is Ken Holland's decision making has been quite iffy for the Oilers as of late, in my opinion, which is great for the Canucks, but not good for Edmonton. Coyotes don't have a great track record with Dylans. All right. F. Duncan Keith, says Samuel. I agree. Huzzah. Yeah, they don't need OEL. We don't need a power play one defenseman because we have Quinn Hughes. Has your opinion on the trade changed with the way the draft has gone? A little bit. I was getting worried with Brandt Clarke not getting picked till 8th. It's gotten a little better, but again, the risk level didn't change. It just happened to work out a little better. Canucks fans are going to be looking at Dylan Guenther for a long time, though. That is for sure. But I am excited for Connor Garland. Connor Garland's going to be a really, really good player. Will Greener replace Hughes with OEL as the first pairing D-man? I doubt it. I don't think so. They might, but I don't know. Unless you really want, I mean, put him on your second D unit. Have 2 really good power plays. Can't, like, nothing. You're not. There's nothing. Why can't I speak? You're allowed to do that. I would like my my YouTube page to work here. Guys, you can get a truck cap for $2,000. Oilers trade the 20th pick, Broberg and Cassian to the Sharks for Burns. 50% retained. 1v1 me, bro. Man, I don't think that's a great trade for the Oilers. I think Burns is kind of washed. Cylinder's not from Columbus, Ohio. Oh, it's a typo. Oh, okay. Jaden, you love my hair. Thank you. It is. I did it in like 2 seconds. I need to get a haircut. It's getting away. Sides are too long. It's been probably 2 months since I got it done. So I got to go back to my guy Calvin. All right. Calgary starts with a C, right? Columbus just made so many picks. I'm all messed up. All right, the Calgary Flames, division rival to the Vancouver Canucks. Thank you, Gary. The pizza man. Pizza man's brother. Matthew Coronato. They have these jerseys just ready, hey? You're going to apply to be the Oilers guy? I like it. Okay. Matthew Coronato, drafted by the Calgary Flames. Let's pull up his page here. I have to scroll a little bit here. Elite Prospects has Matthew Coronato at number 32. Craig Button has him at 11. Sportsnet at 11. Few people at 16. NHL Network has him at number 14. So most around in the 10s somewhere, with some people having him in the 30s. Recruit Scouting also has him at 33. Not a crazy reach on our list. He was 13 on Bob McKenzie's scout aggregate list. Left winger had, guys, you want some stats? You want some stats on this kid? U.S. Hockey League, 51 games played. He had 48 goals. 48 goals, 37 assists for 85 points. A plus 37. He had 13 points in 8 playoff games. Good numbers, but he seems to be pretty divisive. We'll take Coronado off of our board, and we'll bring in our 21 here. Carson Lambos now on our top 10 available. all name team. We got a lot of good names coming up here. Xavier Bourgault, Isak Rosen, Fedor Svechkov. Gamer Bam says, I am NHL player. All right. Coronation, more like Colorado is what he would say as he was picked by the Avs. Okay. Coronado is what you meant to say. That makes more sense. You're going to apply to be the Oilers GM. You couldn't be worse than all of these guys. Yeah. I mean, I think you would do better, Samuel. And I don't know you. Gamer Bams is going to go first overall in 2026. I wish you the best of luck. And make sure you remember where you came from. And that's the Parker's Pucks 2021 NHL Draft stream. It's where you were born. We had you first. If you get drafted, this is gonna be your first taste. What kind of chair do you have? It is a chair that I got off Amazon. If you search, it's like a leather chair. It's from a brand called K Cream, which is a terrible brand name, but all the reviews, I watched a video and it was like, yeah, all gaming chairs suck, but this one's pretty good. And I was like, all right, looks comfy. It's fine. I don't love it. It's not very, like, the back moves a little too much. It's if you have really long legs, and I'm talking like hip to knee leg, it's a good chair. But my legs aren't very long, so it's my legs bend right at the end of the chair, which is kind of annoying. Question is, where is Parker hiding Skittles? I've got an empty Skittles bag here. I'm on a cut right now. I'm going on a trip in 2 weeks, up to a cabin. So I'm on a 2-week expedited cabin cut. So I'm trying to, no Skittles, no snacks, 1,500 calories a day, get down, start looking good. So I can get those good Instagram pics going, you know? But thank you for the question, Gmod. Kenley, this is Kenley's brother. You can call me by my sister's name. I don't know your sister's name, Kenley. Unless you're Kenley. Wait, you're Kenley's brother. You can call me by my sister's name. It would be Kenley. So your sister's name's Kenley. I'm going to call you Kenley because that's the name that pops up. It's bulk month. Yeah, you gotta get rid of the flub before the bulk. I also didn't go to the gym for like 7 months because I moved, and there's like, you had to like reserve your spot at the gym, which was annoying. You're already looking good. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. Our boy Quinn Hughes. My Quinn. Quinn is not a great public speaker. I love him. If the Canucks trade back into the first, we need marbles. Why would that require marbles? What would that do that is like, oh, well, now we need some marbs? What do you think the Oilers should do with the 20th pick? If you're the GM, what would you do? I would pick the best player available. Philly's pick is via Buffalo? No. Buffalo has... it's Buffalo's pick via Philly. They traded for Philly's pick today in the Ristolainen trade, which is going right above my head right now. Buffalo trades Ristolainen for Philadelphia for 13th overall. And Hag in a third in 2023. Fangirl joining the VIP group, VIP squad. Thanks, Fangirl. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. It should come up above my head at some point, but I really appreciate it. And welcome to the VIP squad. The law states it, says Agam. I think I make the law in this chat. There it is. That felt so loud to me. Join the VIPs. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Kenley's brother. I don't care what round, what pick. You just want to get drafted in the NHL, don't we all? I don't know if I don't know if they're interested in picking anyone who's 24 years old, but if they are, I'm draft eligible, boys. Buffalo, you know. I don't want to get drafted by Buffalo. Dallas can draft me though. Adam also joining the VIPs. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. It'll come up again shortly. Sam, sending love from Houston. Cool having someone from Houston. You might get an NHL team coming up soon, which would be super cool. Glad you subscribed. You actually respond to everyone. Thank you very much for the kind words, Samuel. Really appreciate it. Isak Rosen, 18th on our board. I'm not going to put I'm not going to put the accent on his name because I don't know how to type that in. This is copy pasted. So Isak Rosen is picked. Let me take him off of our available board, and then we'll take a look at his stats and his projections here. Isak Rosen, ranked 24th by Elite Prospects. He is 5'11", 161. Thanks for the sub, Uncharted Trail Riders. Appreciate it. The highest ranking is Sportsnet and Dauber Prospects. Both had him at 16. So picking a guy at 14 who's ranked 16, not too bad. Consolidated ranking at him at 21. Bob McKenzie's list at 18, which is what our list is. Craig Button had him at 28. Maybe a little bit of a reach here, but you know, if you have a guy you like, sometimes you just got to pick him. Cody Mullen just saying, just with the face. Cody, are you a Sabres fan who doesn't love the pick? How badly does Buffalo handle Power's development? If they leave him in Michigan this year, then I think he'll be fine. Oh, Jaden Mullen also didn't like it. The thinking face. Missed a couple things here. Send love from Northern VC. Thank you, Fangirl. Coffeehouse J. If the NHL goes again to another US-based city, before heading back to Quebec, it'll be harder to defend Bettman. I think the reason is that expanding into untapped markets is valuable for the NHL. I'm just going to turn on my TV a little bit here. Because if you're expanding, and it looks like it would be like a relocation, you're trying to grow the game in new markets. Thanks for the sub, Cole. Appreciate it. You're trying to grow the game in new markets. So you're trying to, like Quebec City, they have a lot of hockey fans there already, right? The NHL is already getting their views and their money. But Houston, not much of a hockey town, but a big city that and would have a direct, immediate rivalry with Dallas. So that's why it's been rumored. But, you know, I would prefer Quebec City, of course. Gmod, if I was Powers, I'd be making the face McDavid made when Oilers got first overall. Yes. I'd rather go to Edmonton than Buffalo, I think. Tegan, Buffalo finna go 082, no cap. I mean, I'm sure they'll win a game, but they won't be good. Sam, I pray to God Buffalo trades Power for the 20th pick and Broberg. I don't think they'd do that. Owen Power is going to be very, very good. And then you want to add in Koskinen or Neal. That's going to be a hard sell if you are an Oilers fan, if you're trying to sell that to the Sabres. Someone make a trade, please. Yeah, trades would be fun. Come on, Canucks do a first round pick. Let's see if they can move Holtby or Schmidt. So try to get back in the first round. You hope a virus doesn't affect Vancouver this season. I think we're past the point where everything's just going to be open. It looks like everything's going to be 100% open. We'll be back at the arena, which will be fun. A man can dream. Sorry, Samuel. Oh, Cody's happy now. Okay. Arizona, the salary cap swallower. All right. Trade. It says trade. Look at it. It says trade. We got a trade. Give me sound. Did Detroit trade up? Do we have a Red Wings logo? I don't have a Red Wings logo. Red Wings logo. And then I need a Stars logo. Okay. Red Wings logo. Wikipedia. Save image. Save. Put it on the screen. Look at that big Red Wings logo. and then we make it small, and then we put it right there. Look at that quick production. All right. Please betting, trade, Jim, no. All right. Let's see what the details are. I'll put it on the ticker right when it happens. Dal trades 15th overall to Detroit for whoops, this should say 12th. All right, let's see what the deets are. Let's see anything on Twitter. Detroit moving from 23 to 15. So Detroit moving up. Do I have a Stars logo? Nope. Dallas Stars logo. Grab it. Save it. Save it. Put it here. Dallas Stars. Going to 23. All right. Let's see what happens. Is Wallstedt going to Detroit? Yes, Wallstedt is a goalie. Okay, so details are in. You'll see it come through across the screen here. So Dallas trades 15th overall to Detroit. So Detroit moves up 8 spots, and Dallas adds 48th and 138th overall. So mid-second round pick, and that's what, like a 4th round pick picked up for Dallas. Look, if Dallas doesn't have someone that they want here, and maybe they want someone like a, you know, whoever's like 25th on our list, something like that, kind of makes sense, right? You know, trade down, you add a 2nd and a 4th, 2nd and a 5th, it's a 5th. Makes sense. And if you're Detroit, you got a guy you like here, make the move. Go get him. Thank you, Arjon, for, yeah, just picks. All right, so Detroit is on the clock. That resets the clock when a trade is made. So we will have to wait here. Could be Lysell. You were saying that they were interested in Lysell at number 6. And it is about his time to get picked around here. Chaz Lucius still on the board, projected to go a little bit higher, at least per our rankings that we've seen. So we'll see what pans out here. Wallstedt makes no sense because they have Ned. Yeah, but I mean, if you're able to pick a defenseman who, or a goaltender that you think is going to be a bona fide top 10 starting goalie, it's just value, right? Because you can trade him for a lot later on, or he can become your number 1 goalie. And having 2 good goalies is helpful. Your mic sounds really good, says Adam. Thank you. That makes me happy. It's not disconnecting anymore. I fixed it. I got a different cable in there, and I love it. I know it sounds good. I'm happy. Jim says he thinks it'll be Lysell. Predictions had Wallstedt, though. Kenley's brother is on the couch watching the live stream. Appreciate it. I am very thankful for all of you who are here. And if you're enjoying, make sure you're subscribed and you hit the like button because it makes me happy. Never question what Detroit does because of Stevie Y. I mean, yeah, they fleeced the Canes yesterday. He was like my pretty cup, my rose cup. Color changing, baby. Pick is in for the Detroit Red Wings. I'm going to adjust this because it's a little... Here we go. 15th overall in Hockeytown. Steve Yzerman. What a fresh looking guy. They go goalie, but it's not Wallstedt. Wow. Thanks for the sub, Kirk. So they go Sebastian Cossa, a goaltender. That isn't Wallstedt. Now, I want to look at where these two guys were ranked. Elite Prospects had Wallstedt at 6 and Cossa at 22. Woo! Almost the lowest ranking for Wallstedt was 16. And the highest ranking for Cossa was 15. Most people ranked Cossa around 15, a few in the mid-20s as well. So 18-year-old goalie, turns 19 this year. He is 6'6", 212, a big goalie, bigger than Wallstedt by about 3 inches in height. This last season for the Edmonton Oil Kings, 19 games. He played 19 games. They went 17-1-1 in those 19 games. A .941 save percentage, a 1.57 goals against average. So Cossa was excellent last year for the Oil Kings. Comparing that to Wallstedt, who played in the Swedish league and put up a .908 in 22 games. But remember, that's against real professional adult players and not in the minor leagues. Cossa is an interesting pick, and interesting they went goalie. And it's interesting that they didn't think he would fall to 23. Yeah, people will be comparing Wallstedt to Cossa, but you know, it happens all the time. Adam, you met Stevie Y, and you know the Niedermayers quite well. Well, that's interesting. Niedermayer's dad is your family doctor. Odd. So he's picking size. Yes, I mean, big goalies are valuable, right? They take up more than net. And most goalies are big in the NHL. Rangers are on the clock for the next 3 minutes or so. You think Nashville will be the next team to take a goalie? That wouldn't be too surprising if a Wallstedt were to fall to Nashville. Now, if you're a team in sort of the 20s right now, or let's say Nashville at 19, right? And your thought was that you wanted to get a goalie today. And you were thinking, okay, one of Cossa or Wallstedt will fall to us. Well, now one of them just got picked, and you're about 3 picks away if you are the Nashville Predators. Are you thinking now, well, let's make a trade up, just in case the Rangers, the Blues, or the Jets take a goalie here? Wouldn't be too crazy for the Blues to really take a goalie. So that's definitely something to keep your eye on here. See if Nashville wants to try to hop up if they're worried that one of these teams will take Wallstedt if they want a goalie, or if any of these teams, like if Edmonton is looking for a goalie, this might be the time to trade up because there's no more goalies for a while in this draft. All right, let's see here. Gmod, Rangers pick will have to have a better season than Lafreniere, maybe. When's my members only live stream? I'll try to do it at the end of this month. Wallstedt will be picked up soon. Yeah, if one goes next, one goes soon after. Exactly. Edmonton needs a goalie as well, says Victoria. Yeah, I agree. And we go to commercial with 1:17 left on the clock for the Rangers. As I just turned up my volume, let's turn this down. Ooh, I'm tired. Let's do this so we can see more of our board. Francesco Pinelli enters the arena at number 23. All right. Rangers picking 16th. See if we have any rumors swirling here. Any Bob McKenzie's coming through. Bob McKenzie says Rangers have the 16th pick. TSN's best available is Chaz Lucius, who we have at number 10 up there, plus Wallstedt. Rangers are looking hard at Brennan Othmann, number 16 on our list right there. So they are looking in depth at Brennan Othmann. Could be a chance to move down too if they really like an Othmann or something like that. Could be a chance there. Regular defenseman for the Rangers? Well, I mean, our next defensemen are 21 and 22. Maybe a chance to drop a few spots for the Rangers. I think Benning felt pressured into trading for OEL. No, I think it was entirely of his own volition. Am I going to the Canucks home opener this year? I don't know. No idea. I might not. Samuel says, I quit. Cossa gone. Please, Edmonton, trade Neil and the 20th to Arizona for a banana smoothie. Man, you know what? Banana smoothie would be real nice right now. I'll tell you that. See if we have any updates here. Any news? Any leaks? Frank Valley, where's my leaks? Wow. So Isak Rosen, who we had, I think, 18th on our board and who Buffalo selected at number 14, Top Down Hockey's model had him at 217th overall with a 1% chance of becoming an NHL player. Yikes. Let's see here. You know the Hershey Bears? Yes. Hershey, Pennsylvania. Rangers, pick is in. Who is going to Madison Square Garden? Picks made. Let's get my list here. Yo, your dad works for the Bears. That's interesting. Very interesting. So, Bob McKenzie calls it. It is Brennan Othmann, left winger, going to the New York Rangers. Played for Flint in the Ontario Hockey League. Let's pull up the stats here. Othmann. Let's see here. So last year, 7 games for the under 18s for Team Canada, had 6 points, 3 goals, 3 assists. So that's good. Played at, is this the right one? Am I crazy here? Brennan Othmann also played for EHC Olten in the Swiss League this year. So he had 16 points in 34 games in the Swiss League. Last year in 2019-2020, in his 55 OHL games, he had 33 points. Now, again, normally we see about a point a game for first rounders in the Ontario Hockey League, but this would be his draft -2 year, or draft -1 year, and not his draft year. So, probably projects fine. Let's look at where he is on other scouting boards. Consolidated ranking about 17th. Craig Button has it 17th. He's picked 16th here. 21st on Elite Prospects, 20th on Dauber. 44 by the Puck Authority, 14 by Sportsnet. So not really a reach. Maybe some better players available, but they got a guy they like. Who has the best hockey name in the draft so far? So if we're looking at so far, if you just want to look at on the list on the side here, not a lot of great hockey names, I don't think. They're pretty lame, right? Though, like Isak Rosen's name is like his spelling is cool. Brandt Clarke's a fine name. Mason McTavish is a fine name, but it's the names that are available where you start to get some really cool names. Chaz Lucius, fire name. Fabian is an awesome name. Fedor Svechkov, Xavier Bourgault. Carson Lambos. That's sweet. Corson Ceulemans. Francesco Pinelli, pretty Italian, which is fun. And Nikita Chibrikov, which sounds pretty cool as well. Owen Power is a good name. You're right. Owen Power, just the name Power. It's just not as fun to say as like a Xavier Bourgault. Preds will take Wallstedt. They could. I could see St. Louis going goalie here too. I wouldn't be too shocked. Raymond says, what do you think about Nashville's goalie chants? I don't have a ton of knowledge on that. I don't know exactly what, do they chant to goalies a lot? Is that a thing? I haven't watched the Preds in a long time. I'm in the North Division. See here, any news? What do you think will happen first? Benning getting fired or Francesco selling the team? It would be Benning getting fired, absolutely. I hope Lambos owns a Lamborghini. He'd have to, right? Get that Lambo sponsorship. That would be the play. Thanks for subscribing, Ryan. Appreciate it. Welcome. Glad you're here. I'm going to move this down a little so it's not in the ticker. Or maybe not. Maybe I won't move it because it won't let me. Carson Lambos has that 90s feel. Yep. Mason McTavish gives off Marty McSorley vibes. That's less fun. They're going to say like Marty McFly. All right, pick is in for the St. Louis Blues. Enterprise Center in St. Louis. Let's take a look. Doug Armstrong to make the pick. Zach Bolduc. Zachary Bolduc. So 19th on our board. He's a center. Chaz Lucius still sticking on to that board there. Would maybe his team that might like him might move up at some point to take that pick. Let's take a look here. Where is Zachary Bolduc? Uh-oh. Where is he? Am I blind? I'll just search for him. Bolduc. Zachary Bolduc. Born in 2003. Jesus. 6'1", 174 pounds. This last season, 29 points in 27 games for Rimouski in the QMJHL. 10 goals, 19 assists. Last year, though, 52 points in 55 games. So didn't really get a lot better this year. He scored 30 goals last year, only 10 this year in half the games. So his goal scoring pace dropped, but his assist pace went up quite a bit. Ranked number 22nd consolidated. Almost everyone had him in the mid-20s or so. Although Bob McKenzie's scouting accumulation had him at 16, I think. Or no, 19. It's right there still. Had him at 19. He looks like a 14-year-old. In relation to Alex Bolduc, I am not sure. I don't think this tells you. He won the Mike Bossy Trophy this year for the best professional QMJHL prospect. Yeah, try something really quick. Let's see if this makes my camera look better. Do that. It didn't make a difference. Nice. Hello, Sir Niels. How you doing? You happy with the Nucks trade? Not particularly, but you'll get more of my thoughts on that on Canucks After Dark, 10 p.m. tonight. Make sure you don't miss it. Linked at the top of the description. Let's get that. Let's get Canucks After Dark up there. Let's try to get close to how many subs do we have on that channel? 357. Let's get to 370 or something today. It is 10 p.m. where I am. Well, it'll be at 1 a.m. your time table of contents. But if you can't watch Canucks After Dark live, of course it will be up in video form afterwards. It stays up, and you can find it on your favorite podcast platform if you just search Canucks After Dark on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those good things. Canucks After Dark is a different channel, yes, because it is a show that I do with Canuck Clay, so it is separate. By the way, thank you everyone who's been subscribing throughout our show here tonight. We've gotten up to, I think we've gotten about 40 subs today. We're almost at 2,200, so thank you guys. I do very much appreciate it. Hell of a Shot says the Canucks are going to be Stanley Cup champs with OEL. I think that would be an in spite of more so than a because of, but I would love to be wrong. I'm on the West Coast, Vancouver based. I love the handlebar mustache on that guy on the panel. That would be one hell of a shot. Nice, Rome. Nice. Good one. All right. Winnipeg's pick is now in. Let's see what happens. Where's Subban going to end up? I don't know. Remember when I just started this channel? Gmod, I remember you being there. It has come a long way. It's been a lot of fun. OEL's war percentage is ouch. It is. Where can we see the trades live? If you just refresh on Twitter, any ones that happen, I'm bringing them up as they happen. Matthew, thanks for the sub. Chaz Lucius, our number 10 on our board. Best player available according to our Bob McKenzie rankings. Chaz Lucius going to the Winnipeg Jets, a centerman. Let's pull him up here. Chaz Lucius. And I'll take Chaz Lucius off of our big board from the number 10 spot. So Chaz Lucius, ranked number 11 by NHL Network. He put up 20 points in 13 games for the U.S. national team, U18 team this year. 420 Music, thanks for the VIP. I really appreciate it. Welcome to the VIP squad. It'll pop up there in a second. So 20 points in 13 games for Chaz Lucius for the U18 team. 18 points for the juniors team in 12 games. Ranked, almost everyone had him higher than he was picked. So he's picked 18th. The lowest ranking for him was 19th by ISS Hockey. Most rankings were around between 9 and 12 with a couple of 14s in there as well. So based on that alone, seems like a pretty solid pick for the Winnipeg Jets. There it is. There it is. Join the VIPs. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's go indeed. And let's see who our next on our board is. Daniil Chayka. Any relation? Is there any relation? Also, another sick name. Oh, it's spelt differently. Oh, no, it's not. Daniil Chayka, a defenseman. Oh, from Russia. Okay, so not related to John. All right, Nashville on the clock. This is interesting because I think we've sort of thought, Nashville, Edmonton could both use goalies, young goalies in the pipeline. We'll see if either of them go that route. Let's see here. Jordy Ben also went to the Jets. Makes me sad. Yep. It was a good trade, though. Edmonton going to get Wallstedt. I wouldn't be surprised. I think that would be a really good pick for them. Raymond Reinhart is nervous. Who are you nervous for, Raymond? Who are you rooting for on this evening? Who are you hoping to get picked, and what team are you rooting for? 420 Music says, of course, big hockey fan here. Glad to have you on board. Tale of Content says, if Wallstedt is still available and the Oilers don't take him, you will laugh. Well, don't be mean. But yeah, it does seem like picking a goalie this high is kind of risky, but it would be a good pick. Jim Bang's philosophy is smile now, cry later with the OEL trade. I'll cry whenever the hell I want to. I cried a little bit today. I did, but I didn't cry at the views I got. Am I right? How many views does that video have? 48 hours. Got 1,300 views. That's good. I like it. 420 Music is an Oilers fan, but Vancouver's your second favorite. Not a lot of people with that opinion. And that is interesting, though. Most people on one of those sides wouldn't be rooting for the other. OEL turns out bad, you'll be sad. I will be as well. But, it's already done. Best we can do is hope for the best. Hill Condens is a Wings fan. Vancouver's my second. I'm fine with the Wings. Red Wings. I hated them growing up because when I was like 4 and 5 years old, and the Canucks, they just beat the Canucks down. I saw your tweet about going golfing instead of streaming. I considered it because my thought was most of my viewers are Canucks based, so maybe no one will come and watch. And meanwhile, it's my most viewed stream I've ever had. So, you know, by the way, 160 of you guys in here. Very, very cool. Very fun. Thank you all for hanging out. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already, and hit that like button. Let's get this, you know, we like to have about half the likes to viewer ratio. So let's see if we can get that up to like 80 or something. That would be super duper duper cool. Gmod's still laughing at the Oilers. Yeah. On Canucks After Dark, we talked about how the Oilers are going crazy. That Hyman deal is going to be rough in a few years. Let's see here. Hell of a shot. Almost turned a Kraken fan today. Uh-oh. Raymond is rooting for Nashville to take a center here. Well, yeah, Chaz Lucius just taken off the board, so maybe it's someone like a Svechkov who can play center, Xavier Bourgault. Any of these centers on the list would probably be fine if you're looking for a center. Taylor Condon's had a girlfriend from Chilliwack that got you into the Canucks. You're born in Detroit. Interesting. That is interesting. Coffee House J, Eiserman, school in Carolina, Detroit, coming back with Verona, etc. as well. Looking good in Motown. Yeah, that trade was silly. Very good for Detroit. National might pick a Tendy, but they cannot replace Rene. No, Rene was excellent. Elgin, we're smoking copium for a betting trade. Let's be honest. I wish I had the copium emote from Twitch, from BTTV. Saros is good. Yep. Always breaking your heart. Just lay down and cry. I'm assuming you're going to say. Viewers went up because of Clay. Yep. I think we got about 60 from Clay, which is good. I think we had about 120 before, but very thankful for Clay. Oilers are breaking my heart. Should I? This is you fixed it. Should I lay in the middle of the street and be a Buffalo fan? Samuel, I don't know how that would make things better for you. I think that would be worse. McDavid will leave the Oilers. I wouldn't be surprised. Pick is in. Yes, it is. Lots of nonsensical deals so far. Money eating is okay by owners in the NHL for space. Yeah, I've been surprised at how much value guys like Ekman Larson and Jones have had. Oilers ride or die. Keep your hopes up. Hope Vancouver wins one day too. You know what? Hey, if it took the Oilers winning a cup for the Canucks to win a cup, I'd take it. I think Will Lockwood will be really underrated and good player. I haven't seen him play personally, but I am a little bit high on Will Lockwood. I think he's got a decent ceiling. Cody coming through asking when the last time the Canucks won the Stanley Cup was. That's just not very nice. It's not very. You didn't have to bring that up here, guys. We're having a bad day already. That's just mean. I'd only be a Buffalo fan for 2 seconds, and then I can be in heaven and watch the Oilers win the cup. I mean, would that even happen in heaven? I don't know. Fangirl says, my mom joked me saying, if your family moved to Edmonton, you root for the Oilers. He said, no. Yeah, if I moved, if I moved to Edmonton, I'd go to every Canucks game in Edmonton in a Canucks jersey. Absolutely. Let's move that down a little bit. More Canadian teams win the cup, the happier I would be, except for Calgary. That's fair. You think they made the finals more than any Canadian teams since the cup was last in Canada? Well, they had twice since 93 when the Habs won. But the Canucks Cups is not what we talk about. No, we take the small victories as Canucks fans. That's about all we get sometimes. Raymond asks when the next expansion team is going to be and where. I don't think there's going to be another one for a long time. I think 32 is such a good number. I think any new teams would be coming from a move, like in Arizona or a Florida getting actually moved somewhere else, like Quebec City. Quebec City is probably the best bet, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. Pick is in for the Preddies. Let's see what we got here. I don't know why I said Preddies. You wore the Oilers jersey down the red mile. So yeah, you gotta, why wouldn't you? Hope Florida gets moved to Quebec. Yeah, that'd be good. Having a team in Quebec would be sick. Picture a team in Portland, not before Quebec or Houston. I'd be fine with it, though. David Poyle. Raymond's hoping for a center. Give him a center, David. From Russia. Fedor Svechkov. They get the Russian kid. He can play wing. He can play center. In the VHL, which is like the junior KHL, 5 goals, 10 assists in 38 games. Scout says he's a skilled center who can dominate the game, create scoring chances with surprising moves around the net. Ranked number 15 by NHL Network. Let's see where he ranks on the rest of our boards. Let's take him off of our list of available players. He was 17 on our Bob McKenzie board, so a good pick in that respect. Almost everyone had him in the top 20. So lots of 13s, 17s. Worst ranking was from McKean's Hockey at the number 30, Neutral Zone at number 20, and then all the rest of them were top 20. So consolidated ranking number 14 for Fedor Svechkov. So it looks like a solid pick. Raymond should be happy. He says he'll take it. I'm happy for you, Raymond. Preds getting a decent center here in the draft. Give the Maritimes a team. Yeah, you definitely need more population. All right. Stankoven is now in our top 10 available. Yeah, the Oilers here. We have prediction from William. Sorry, I can't read. William saying Edmonton's going to take a goalie. I could see it. Wallstedt still on the board here, projected to go basically top 15. Like, let's look at Wallstedt's again. I want to see his rankings. Almost all of them top 10. Ken Holland, make me laugh, please. As a Canucks fan, I'm rooting for a bad pick. I am sorry to my Oilers fans that are in the chat here, but personally, I don't want the Oilers to pick a good goalie because that's going to make it harder for my team to score. What's with the buffering emote? Oh, you're just testing out some emotes? You scared me. I thought my stuff was breaking. I'm available tomorrow. Skr. All right, division rival for my Vancouver Canucks. Elliot, anything on the Jack Eichel front? So most Buffalo actions around Sam Reinhart, apparently. Man, Preet asking, will the Canucks trade Schmidt? It looks like they're going to try to, but I don't think that they need to. I think they're sort of like, if he kind of wants out, you know, if other teams are willing to pay enough, then they will. But I don't think it's something that they have to do. Raymond, going to bed. Glad I found your channel. God bless. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you for hanging out. It was fun. I'm glad you got your center. And I hope to see you around. Appreciate you joining. For 20 Music asks, anyone think if Saskatchewan got an NHL team, they'd have a great fan base? I think they'd have a great fan base. It just wouldn't be a very big fan base, right? That's the problem. You have to try to sell out a 20,000 seat arena 41 times a year, right? It's just, it's tough to do without population. Like if you put it in Regina has 230,000 people, which means on a given night, you need 10% of your population to go to a game. Or you need every person in Regina to go to 4 games a year to sell out your stadium all year. That gets tough. You can compare that to like Vancouver, and like, sure, Vancouver only has like 600,000 people, but Surrey also has 600,000 people, and Burnaby has a few 100,000 people, right? The metro area has a lot more people, where when you look at Regina, the suburbs of Regina, like, you know, I can't even name one. I have it on the map here. Albatross or Brora, right? They don't have people in them really. So, or Grand Coulee or Drinkwater or Deer Valley. Yeah. It's like, you literally have, you know, you have to get, you know, a tenth of your population to show out every night. I could see them doing like a preseason game in Regina at some point, though. I'm sure they have an arena. Because they have the St. Pat's there, right? Or just do it at Mosaic. The names, yeah. Quebec would sell an arena fast? Absolutely. Like Quebec City? Oh, yeah. We got to trade. Okay, so the Oilers trade. So the Wild move up 2 spots and give up a 3rd in the process. So the Oilers, smart move here. If you have a player and you think he's going to be available 2 picks from now, you make this move. Let me just get this logo on here. That's a pretty fine trade. Hey, it's Judd Brackett. So Minnesota moving up 2 picks. Someone that they don't think. When you do that, it's someone that you think Boston's going to take, right? So Boston's picking 21st, as you can see on the side right here. So if you're Minnesota, Boston's picking right before you. Your thought is, I don't want Boston to pick whoever they're going to pick. So we're going to leapfrog them by a pick and sneak in and get somebody. Is it Wallstedt? Samuel, I am so done. Look, if you're rooting for the Oilers here, though, if the Oilers really like, let's say Carson Lambos, they really like, and they don't think Minnesota or Boston's going to take him, then you just got a free 3rd round pick for nothing. Let's see what happens here. The trades. Man asking, what would your D pairings look for the Canucks? I haven't put much thought into it. It really depends on if Schmidt gets moved or not, but we will talk about line pairings quite a bit on Canucks After Dark tonight. So I recommend tuning in, and if you miss it, you can watch the video version tomorrow. You just search Canucks After Dark. It's linked at the top of the description. It's on a different channel. And you can also find it on your favorite podcast platform of choice. We're up to 186 people in here, by the way. Welcome. Everyone who's new. I know a lot of you are, because I have 2,200 subscribers and I have had 3,200 people click on the stream. So good chance that lots of you guys are new here. So welcome. My name is Parker. Mostly I cover the Canucks, but I also make a bunch of videos from around the NHL. So hit subscribe if you are interested. What time tonight? 10 p.m. Pacific. It's right here. Right there under the chat. Right under the message you just sent. Nicole, you're new today. Well, I'm glad you are here, Nicole. All right. Should we just relax here? Lean her back. All right. Lazy stream. While we wait, Minnesota Wild on the clock. Waiting here. I just realized my chair covered. The camera's right here. That is what shows the on the clock right there. Right there. I'm going to get back up here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Just gonna kind of messed my mic up there. All right, we're good. 420 minutes says, happy for you, Parker. Let's go. Thank you. I appreciate it. His name's Parker, but he prefers Puck and Parker. Yeah, 11 o'clock in Alberta, I believe. 2.5 hours from now. He also loves Skittles and subscribers. Man, Gmod knows me so well. Does Sedin's make specific change to how things are being done with the Canucks? I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. I would think so. All right, Roman to make the pick. They go for it. So Minnesota, under the leadership of Judd Brackett, moving up 2 spots, leapfrogging the Boston Bruins to take the best goalie available. Clearly the Oilers not very interested in picking up a goaltender here. And I'm guessing Boston was, because otherwise Minnesota wouldn't have made that move. Interesting. Jesper Wallstedt off the board. We've talked a bit about Wallstedt already, but he's a 6'3" goalie as I take him off of our board here. I know I have a tab open for him already. So almost every ranking had him in the top 10 for this draft. He drops to number 20. A good, safe pick, I think, here for Minnesota. They're getting a goalie who is going to play in the NHL. I mean, look, you can look at it and be like, oh, well, his numbers weren't great this year, right? He only put up a 908 in the SHL, but at the World Juniors in his 2 games had a 923. And, you know, playing as an 18-year-old in the Swedish Elite League, you know, it's going to be tough to tough to do too well, considering most goalies don't make the NHL till like 23. So let me catch up to some messages here. Logan Stankoven is a BC boy and the most underrated in this draft. I've heard so many people say he's underrated that I don't think he's underrated because if everyone thinks someone's underrated, then he's probably not. It'll be interesting to see what happens with him. I think the Canucks pick 41st. If he's somehow available there, I would love it, but I think he goes somewhere in the next few picks here. We should get a BC boy hockey tournament going. Me, Lego, THG, and we can get Clay in here, play each other at mini sticks. I would crush. Actually, Geo might do well. He's young, but if it's mini sticks and like we have to be like, you know, get low, I think I'd clean up, especially against THG. Gmod said Clay thinks that the scenes might have had an influence on going for OEL. I think I mentioned that too. It kind of makes sense, right? They played on the Swedish team together. Tale of Content says, ha 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 ha. Thank you, Holland. Okay. Tegan thinks Boston will take Stankoven at the next pick here at 21. 420 Music says, you knew the Oilers wouldn't pick up a tender. Hello from Russia says, look, I can't read Russian. So, thank you. Welcome. I'm glad you're here, but I don't know where to start. I've played a little bit of DayZ in my day, and those are like the only things I can say in Russian, and it's just the English translations to them. Nash says the Leafs need to trade into the first. Well, the Leafs are kind of in win now mode, right? You don't want to really be giving up assets for a first round pick. Lots to talk about OEL as well in here. Waiting to see if the Habs deal a first for Christian Dvorak. Thank you for the sub, Karen Dash. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Am I streaming the Canucks pick? There's no Canucks pick. When is the when does round 2 start tomorrow? 8 a.m. So the Canucks pick would probably be around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Depends on my tee time is. I'm going to try to golf tomorrow. If my tee time's at like 11, then I'll do it. Sure, I'll get up early and stream in the morning. But if not, then I'm going to be on the golf course. Adam's back. Welcome back. Russian guy's name is Miroslav Malutin. Are you serious? How do you know that? How? Can I copy it and just translate Russian to English? And if I just type that in, Miroslav Malutin. Yo, Miroslav, thank you. And I appreciate, I guess I could have just converted it. Thank you, Table of Contents, for that. Come on, betting, we can still get Lysell. I mean, yeah, they could. Have I missed anything to note? Small trades, nothing too crazy. Minnesota moving up a couple of picks to grab a goalie. Trading the 9th overall pick. Don't do that. You can read Russian. Ah, there you go. I knew it started with an M. What course am I going to? I don't know yet. I haven't looked at tee times yet. I just have a friend who says he's available in the morning. So we'll book something tonight. Find something cheap. Canucks trade Schmidt for a low first and draft Ceulemans. It's an option. Thought the second round was tonight as well. No, just the first. Second round goes tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Don Sweeney. Fabian Lysell going to the Bruins. Top person left on our board, and waiting for the reaction from them. They're way behind on the Swedish feed. They're still, you can still see Gary Bettman on their screen. They're way behind. All right, Fabian Lysell, ranked in the top 10, top 15 by almost everyone. Dauber Prospects has Fabian Lysell at number 3. Elite Prospects at number 9. McKean's at number 10. Craig Button has him at number 30. So a bit of a mixed bag, and clearly lots of NHL teams had other players higher than him. So Lysell going to the Bruins. Smaller guy, 5'10", 172 pounds. Basically me, but I'm not a professional hockey player. And we look at this, in the Swedish league last year, he had only 3 points in 26 games, but he went to the under 18s, had 9 points in 7 games, 3 goals, 6 assists. So Lysell off of our board, number 13, according to NHL Network. Probably, probably a pretty good bet, everything had him higher. Let's see. Schmidt to Montreal for the 31st and a 4th. I'd be fine with that, I think. You had your name, Hayden, aka 420 Music. 420 Music's more fun, but thank you, Hayden. I appreciate it. Jordy's going to hate snow in January in Winnipeg. Yeah, I wouldn't. That sounds terrible. Tegan was wrong. Yeah, Tegan, you said, who'd you say? You said Stankoven, right? Round 2 is tomorrow morning. NHL _Canucks. Call Holland. He'll give you McDavid and next year's first for Schmidt. Lysell did drop way down. Yep. All right. And we're caught up. By the way, guys, we're at 2,196 subs. So I'm sure there's 4 of you in here who are having a good time and you haven't hit sub already. So hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. NHL Canucks says, do you think the Canucks are going to go deep in the playoffs? They're going to have to work hard to make the playoffs, which I think after their moves today, I think they are in a better spot to make the playoffs this year. Going far, though, I'm a little weary of. I think, I don't think they're going to be a real contender, but I think they'll make the playoffs at least. Hayden's planning on doing, I'm assuming that it's a channel with you and your stoner buddies talking about rave music. Nice. That sounds fun. Good luck with that. I wish you the best. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate the compliment. I do hope, though, yes, as who said that? Table of Contents said, I hope. Yes, I do hope the Canucks make it far in the playoffs. My hopes aren't that high. 2198, 2 subs off of 2,200, by the way. But yes, I do appreciate all of you being in here, having a ton of fun during the NHL draft. So the Oilers are on the clock with that pick. They just moved down 2 spots. So clearly they thought whoever they wanted would still be available here. And, you know, I'm assuming they were right. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it. And then Dallas will pick after that. What's going on with the pick screen? Is that this one? This is just a webcam, which is right here, recording my TV screen, where the clock is on the draft page. So it's a commercial right now. So that's why it's going wild. Because it's just, you're seeing a small snippet of commercial. Canucks are winning the cup this year. Mark my words. And then the two sort of drunk faces. All right. If you say so. Yeah, Adam, we are birthday buddies. Manpreet says the Canucks add a solid defensive defenseman and solid depth pieces. I can see them go far. They do need to add quite a bit to the defensive side for sure. You like the OEL trade, Lucas? Well, we'll talk about that more in Canucks After Dark. And I will tell you why I disagree. I will be very happy if I'm wrong. Trust me. Let's check on Twitter here. Anything interesting is going on. Ryan Rashog saying it's going to be Bourgault. Xavier Bourgault, center, likely coming up here for the Edmonton Oilers. I'm going to fill it in. It might be wrong. I'm just going to type it in. I believe Ryan Rashog here. Man, Edmonton fans don't love it. Let's see. I might be wrong. That isn't set in stone. All right. Ken Holland. Xavier Bourgault from Shawinigan in the Quebec League. He is a 6 foot, 172 pound center, 18 years old, will turn 19 in October. He played 29 games in the QMJHL this year, had 20 goals, 20 assists for 40 points, so about 1.3 points per game. Last year, the previous year, he had 71 points in 63 games. Ranked number 27 by NHL Network, ranked number 23 on the consolidated ranking, taken number 22, makes sense. Ranked 37 by Elite Prospects. Most things had him between about 15 and 25, so a pick that is probably around in the right spot. NHL Canucks is asking where you can watch After Dark. It's the top link in the description there. It says live at 10 p.m. And you can click on that, or you can just search Canucks After Dark on YouTube. What else do we have here? I kind of Stefan asks, how is the Jets pick at 18th overall? Probably a previous trade, I would guess. Lucas says, are you planning to pick up NHL 22 on next gen if it's an option? I don't have a next gen console. I'm on an Xbox One right now. But if it's the only way to play it, then I'll probably just grab a Series S or something. I'd like them to put it on PC and then I can just not have an Xbox anymore, but that's not going to happen. Oilers going to Oilers. HSM fangirl seeing the draft has dwindled a little bit. Yep, it looks like it. Another center. And Victoria also says because the Oilers need more centers. Tegan says the Oilers need to fire Holland. So not a very popular pick here, taking Xavier Bourgault, even though he was the top guy left on our board. But draft is a bit weak this year. I've heard that too. And, but you know, EA should release NHL for PC. I agree, but there's not much money in it, I think is the problem. He's got his AirPods in. You want Luke on our team? Well, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So we've got 10 picks to go. 10 picks to go. We might be here for another hour or so. So I appreciate you all hanging out with me. And remember, 10 o'clock Canucks After Dark linked in the description. As always. Yeah, EA would have it up on Steam. All their stuff is on Steam. But I just no one... There's just not many people who buy the NHL games year after year. Compared to like a Madden or a FIFA. With Hyman potentially being signed / dealt for, do you think the Oilers move forward a little in the standings? I think, well, Hyman's great. I really like Zach Hyman. Just that contract is such a win now contract. And then they also lost Adam Larson this year and added Duncan Keith. I don't think that helps their case at all. I don't see them getting so much better than they were this year. Who's the most likely to follow the Canucks at 41? I don't know. I have no knowledge on if we're talking like the top 10 here. I'd be happy with any of them because that would be a drop, and that's good. I have no knowledge on who might drop or who might rise at this point. You don't see why they can't do it with NHL. It's because they have to build the game, like they have to port it. And it costs money to put it on more than those systems, right? They make it for PS4, or PS5, they make it for Xbox Series X and S, but you have to pay to port it to PC. Like you have to do the work. It's not just plug and play. All right, Dallas on the clock here. Clay would be a beast on the blue line. We have a solid winger and a backup tender. Stuart Skinner is supposed to come up, and allegedly Koskinen is being bought out. Koskinen gets paid a lot. Luke is asking if I'm planning to pick up an Abbotsford Canucks jersey. I might just get one. I don't know. Dallas. Wyatt Johnston. So Wyatt Johnston, who didn't play a single hockey game last year, So he didn't play any games this year. He played in the under 18s, I guess. NHL Network had him at 34. Elite Prospects had him at 54. Bob McKenzie's rankings had him at 40. Craig Button had him at 63. Sportsnet had him at 30. Dauber had him at 74. Maybe a bit of a reach here for the Dallas Stars in this pick that they picked up in a trade. Coffee House asking if Hyman will still be tradable at that point, at the end of the contract. Sort of a win now, like 3 years from now. Maybe if he's still good, but if he regresses, then he won't be with a long contract. Yeah, I think the Abbotsford jerseys are fine. I don't love the logo. Like I just don't love that logo on a jersey, but I like that they went with green. Koskinen is being paid too much. Yes. Whenever I feel sad about the Nucks, I look at the Oilers and laugh. Well, table contents. I want the Canadian teams to be good, except for Calgary and Toronto. Yeah, I don't really want Toronto to be good. I like watching Toronto. They're a fun team to watch. I'm not big on the Albertan teams though, because of the geography. You're a 15-hour drive from Vancouver. That's a pain. I think we ever trade for one of the Hughes brothers? Probably not. I don't think it's really worth trading for people because they're related to someone else usually. All right. Canucks 52 years of failure. You're damn right, Cody. Here drives from Vancouver all the way to New Zealand. Yeah, that's gonna be like 15 hours of flying, probably longer. But it's cool that you are tuning in from New Zealand. Nicole does not like Leaf fans. After the 9th pick, it got boring. Yeah, I mean, that'll happen. We should trade for that Putin guy. He scored like 8 goals in the KHL All-Star game. True. He would be a force out there because you wouldn't want to hit him. The Abby Nucks as the nickname for the Abbotsford Canucks. I think that's fine. I think we can brainstorm that though. 9.5 hours from Vancouver. It's wild. Yeah, Zach Hyman to the Oilers, it looks like, John. That is true. You live here and Leaf fans are horrid. Jeez. Well, Holland didn't trade Larson. Larson got taken in the expansion draft. By the way, guys, 1 sub away from 2,200. So hit that sub button. All right, the Panthers on the clock. They are in their draft room at the Lauderdale Yacht Club. Working for like a Florida team would be sick, right? Like you literally have your meetings in a yacht club. Florida is such a mood. Absolutely. I mean, you're with a bunch of old people and a bunch of crazy people. It's Florida, but it's warm all the time. Great golf, alligators, boats. You're close to Mexico. I kind of look like OEL. I get some weird look comparisons. I've been called Troy Stetcher a handful of times, which I don't get. OEL. How does my view look like outside my window? It looks like an apartment building. I can see Mount Baker, which is fun. Don't forget snakes. Oh, and like big bugs. Oh, it's great. Who has the real crack house, Seattle or Florida? I mean, yeah, it's a good question. Anyone think the Coyotes are becoming a retirement home? I mean, they're just hoarding picks, and they're rebuilding basically. Getting rid of an expensive contract, grabbing some contracts that are done next year so they don't have to worry about them. Have a go, Hayden. See you tonight. Canucks After Dark. You look like the young cop on Chicago PD. Chicago PD cast. Which one? Jay Halstead? No, that's okay. Jay Halstead. Let's pull it up. Jamie Lee Sofer. I mean, Jesse Lee Sofer. This guy is shredded. You search him in the 5th picture of him. He is absolutely jacked. You know, I kind of see it. I mean, he's more attractive than I am. Let me, it's like if I was 30% hotter, this would be me. Pull it up on screen. I don't know. I think, yeah, he's just me, but more attractive. He's just better in every way. His hair's prettier. Interesting comparison though. Arizona's holding space until AM34 returns to the motherland. Nice. Can we do marbles later? I think I'm going to wrap after the draft, after the first round. because I'm going to need to take a break before Canucks After Dark. I don't want to be live for 6 hours. I think he's a pretty good looking dude. What do you mean you think he's attractive? It's a good looking guy to me. You're the same person? All right. Yeah, we were talking about how they might end up in Houston earlier. Lauderdale, man, the way Gary Bettman says Yat, the Yat Club, the Lauderdale Yat Club. I'm sorry, who? Mackie Samoskevich. Mackie Samoskevich. Well, Dabnad, you can watch it later or listen on your favorite podcast platform. Mackie Samoskevich. Okay, well, you search for him on here and he doesn't show up. Oh, he's also Matthew Samoskevich. Okay, well, why does he go by Mackie? That's dumb. Ranked on number 33 on our Bob McKenzie list, 32 by Consolidated Rankings, number 19 by Elite Prospects, 47 by Craig Button. Most of these rankings are in the 30s. So a bit of a reach potentially, but if it's a guy they like, it makes sense. Where was the draft held this year? Everywhere. They're in a studio and they're just going via Zoom to all the different arenas. They got cameras set up in all the arenas. Not via Zoom. It's way better quality than that. They should use StreamYard like we do for Canucks After Dark. Never heard of him. I hadn't either. Florida picked an 8th rounder. No, they probably picked a late first, early second rounder. Fangirl says, still can't believe the Astros cheated in 2017. True. New Brunswick Coyotes. Love it. All right. Well, we gotta wait now. Blue Jackets are on the clock. I'm really not listening to anything these guys say. I just turn my TV broadcast down a little. Imagine a team like the Canadiens, except they can only take... Wait. What? Sorry, like, I got halfway through and then the words broke. It's a cool idea, Lucas. Yeah, I think it'll be Houston or Quebec City. But Quebec City, they're already paying fans. At least, like, they're viewing fans. So we have 8 picks remaining. 8 picks to go here in the first round. And then we get to wrap up. And I get to get ready for my next stream in 2 hours. Schmidt back to Vegas. That would be interesting. I was reading Twitter, seeing apparently the ask is still very high for Jack Eichel, so it doesn't look like he's going to be moved super soon. Canada loses to Italy in volleyball. That sucks. Matthew Samoskevich. 23% projected chance of becoming an NHLer. Anything interesting? No. No news popping up. I want some trades. So Carson Lambos and Corson Ceulemans both still available. A couple of Carsons. I believe the Tucson Roadrunners will be moved. Yeah, if Arizona's team gets moved, then so would Tucson for sure. They'd get moved to probably somewhere close to wherever, like if they got moved to Houston, then somewhere around there, maybe like Austin or something. And if it's like Quebec City, then it would probably just be in Quebec City. How much do you value advanced stats? Are you a money baller? Quite a bit. Like quite a bit, I'd say. Like 60, 70%. I don't know. Usually when you look at the advanced stats of good players, they're usually good. And when you look at the advanced stats of bad players, they're usually bad. So that's enough for me to believe them. Yeah, that spacing didn't work. You gave it a shot though, Dabnad. Lou says, I can see the St. Louis Blues acquiring the Roadrunners. Interesting. I think we're a ways away from that happening. House probably pick L'Heureux because he's French. L'Heureux. Picking someone because they're French is just asking for trouble. Pick is in for the... your spacing still sucks. Houston before Quebec? Maybe. Quebec could be more fun, though. I think Francesco to say an OEL. I think he had veto rights, but he didn't veto it. Would you rather have Pettersson or Hughes? Pettersson. All right, Columbus making their third pick of the night. Yarmo, what do you got in store here? Wow, they got a season ticket holder. They take Ceulemans. Corson Ceulemans coming off the board before Carson Lambos. But the Lamborghinis. Terrible pick. Let's take a look here if I can pull up. Oh, I think I lost my list. Let's pull it back up. Corson Ceulemans. Found him. Corson Ceulemans, ranked number 25, consolidated ranking, exactly where he got picked. As high as number 12 on some of these rankings, as low as number 55 by Elite Prospects. But you're getting a 6'2", 200-pound defenseman who played in the Alberta Junior Hockey League for the Brooks Bandits. 11 points in 8 games this year, which isn't crazy impressive. He's a defenseman, but, you know, Alberta Junior League, if you're going to make the NHL, you better be lighting it up there. 35 points in 44 games the previous year, but he did play for Canada at the Under-18 tournament back in April and May, put up 8 points in 6 games as a defenseman. That's pretty good. This is a pretty nice day for Columbus. They go out, they trade Seth Jones, they grab Kent Johnson, Chaz Lucius, so 2 high-end centers, especially Kent Johnson, and they go in, add a bit to their defensive depth in Corson Ceulemans. Yeah, Houston would be better for the growth of the league because people in Quebec already like hockey. But it's less fun than it would be in Quebec. Oh, another pick is in. Minnesota being quick with this one. I forgot to take Ceulemans off our list, but I'll do that next. All right, Minnesota Wild, 26 overall. Here we go. Let's churn through them. Let's get this done, boys. Wow, Bill Guerin's eyes are open. And there goes Carson Lambos. They wasted no time making this pick. The Lamborghini man is off to Minnesota. Take those two off of our list. And that allows us to show our top 32 is there. I haven't gone past 32 on our list, but that's okay. Oops, I didn't touch it. All right, we're good. Carolina on the clock. 6 more picks to go in round number 1. Carson Lambos. Let's take a look at this man. Carson Lambos, 6'1", 201 pounds, played for the Winnipeg Ice this year, played 2 games without a single point, but he played in the under 20 Finnish league, and he put up 11 points in 13 games. Last year for the Winnipeg Ice, 8 goals, 24 assists for 32 points in 54 games, a plus 20. That's pretty impressive. Rankings-wise, on our list, ranked 21, using Bob McKenzie's list. Craig Button had him number 21. Sportsnet had him at 19. Dauber Prospects had him at 31. Elite Prospects had him at 33. So pretty mixed bag. Probably average around 20. And so that seems like a pretty decent bet for the Minnesota Wild and for Judd Brackett. In Judd, we trust. That is for sure. All right. We're close. We're close to the end, and we just hit 2,200 subscribers. So thank you guys for being a part of the team. Next goal is 3,000. Yeah, Coffeehouse J, you're right. The Nedeljkovic deal is wild. Doesn't make any sense. It's cheap. They wouldn't. It literally is because they wouldn't want to spend $3 million. Crazy. Like, you shouldn't be allowed to own a hockey team if that's your reasoning. A Calder runner up. Like, he had Calder votes as a goalie, and they're just like, nah, we don't need that guy. Who needs that guy? Nah. Let's take a look here. What was I looking up? NHL round 2 draft order. Just want to see the order here. So Canucks pick 41st tomorrow. And then I don't think they have a 3rd. Or a 4th. So the Canucks pick like 41st, 137th, 140th, 169th. That's not great. And like a 7th as well in there. Yikes. All right. Carolina gets fairly into hockey when their teams are good. I think they're a decent hockey town in Raleigh. Do we give all of our picks away? Pretty much. Yeah, Tampa Bay, I mean, it's Florida, right? It's Florida in the summer. They don't care about hockey. They got better stuff to do. Yeah, I'm sure I'll see a lot of people around the arena, Lucas. I'll be going to a few. No love for hockey in Charlotte? Fair enough. Better things to do like circumvent the cap. Well, if it's allowed, you do it, right? Why wouldn't you? Oh, I'm so tired now. I need a coffee before Canucks After Dark. 1 minute left until what? Oh, on the clock, do you mean? Yeah, I'd like it if they sped up these picks a little bit, to be honest. That would be nice. We got some good names here, though, folks. We've got Francesco Pinelli, Nikita Chibrikov, Zachary L'Heureux, Daniil Chayka, Aatu Raty, Logan Stankoven, Samu Tuomaala, Zach Dean, guy with 2 first names. The next, like, 7 names are awesome. Yeah, wasn't Roddy supposed to be really good? Hey, thanks for the sub, Chandel. Appreciate it. They're out of time? Yeah, I don't know. I remember in the NFL, if you don't get your pick in on time, the team after you can put their pick in before you. And it happened, I think, to the Dolphins at one point. Like, they took too long to make their selection, and someone else just went in and, like, submitted their pick really fast, and so their pick was first. Poker. Hey, another sub. Jackie-O's cereal. Thank you. I appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Hope you guys enjoy your stay. It'd be hilarious if they missed it. Oh, totally. And Colorado comes in and snipes the person that they wanted. This is a bright commercial. The Suicide Squad, but like redone already because the first one was bad. Woo, Jet Woo's already picked. Nice. Good one. Good one. I see you, Jay. Nice. Nice. I don't know if it has happened in the NHL. I don't know what the actual rules are in the NHL. I'm sure they'd be pretty lenient, though. It also could just be the person working the graphic didn't get the update, right? They didn't update it. Whoops. Oh, it'd be super embarrassing. Absolutely. CFL have a draft? I believe so, yep. Not that I pay attention to it. But they sure do. So many things open. Columbus will pick 5 times where the Canucks pick once. Hey, thanks for the sub, Brady. Appreciate it. Sorry. Columbus pick 5 times where the Canucks pick once. They'll have picked 3. I don't know if they have another pick. I think they'll have 1 more. So yeah, they might have picked 4 times. You might be right. I haven't looked at their list. But if it is 5, that's wild. Cheapest Canucks seats in the arena are going to be on upper bowl at the end where the Canucks shoot once. Like the Canucks defensive zone, upper bowl at the back. I like the corner of the offensive zone is my preference. Always give up on Wallstedt. Yep, they let Minnesota take him. What's up? New here? Well, I'm glad you're here, Brady. Welcome. We're just getting through the rest of this first round of the draft because it has been a bit of it's just, been kind of slow. And the follow on Twitch from Zescu. Thank you. I appreciate that. Live on Twitch every once in a while. Or is he up in the future? Canes forever. Yeah, the Canes are still on the clock. I wonder if there's a trade that just hasn't gone through yet. Let's go on Twitter and see if there's any like words coming out. Carolina trading this pick? Question mark. Looks like it says Ren Lavoie from TVA. And if Lavoie says it, then it might have to do with the Montreal Canadiens. Let's see. Still just is on the clock. Intrigue. Give us a trade. We have this great interview with Brian Boucher. Bouche. Is French a required subject in BC schools? It is in like grades 9 and 10. I think that's it. I think that's what, maybe 11. No, 11's an option. It's an easy option though. All right. Just still waiting on this Carolina pick. No idea what's going on. Just refreshing Twitter. Give us some trade details. Smell a trade? That's what I'm thinking. It's got to be, right? It's the only thing that really makes sense. Because, like, all they're doing is keeping me here. I'm going to have to, like, go to Timmy's. Okay, let's Carolina sending pick 27 to Nashville. You have heard it here first. Literally, before you saw it on the broadcast. Pick 27 is going to the Nashville Predators. So Carolina gets picks 40 and 51. So they drop 13 spots and they pick up a mid to late second round pick in the process. The reverse NASCAR. Nice. So that is interesting for sure. So Nashville moving up in the draft, who would that be for? Would it be for a Francesco Pinelli, a Logan Stankoven, Aatu Raty? What happened? Carolina traded the 27th pick to Nashville for picks 40 and 51. Why are teams who know their guy is there after a trade given a full 5 minutes? I don't know. It's dumb, right? Like, you made a move to get a guy. Just go up there, be like, all right, this is our guy. Thank you. We're out. See you tomorrow at round 2, right? Friedman tweeted out a NASCAR trade. Nice. It's too bad the Canucks don't have the assets to trade up and take Logan Stankoven here, says Chris Faber. I agree. All right, pick is in. Finally, for they don't have to pay the ELC. Well, they're gonna have to pay 2 now. David Poyle. Zachary L'Heureux to the Nashville Predators. The French kid, the French left winger. Let's pull up the Zach L'Heureux. Greg Wyshynski's favorite player left in the draft. He said, let's take a look. Ranked 29 consolidated rankings. He's ranked 25 from our Bob McKenzie big board. I'll take him off the list here. Right there. Boom. You're off the list. Ranked 27 by Elite Prospects, so right where he got picked. Sportsnet had him at 31. Dauber had him at 40. Craig Buttonhood at 12. So most rankings around the 30 mark, I would say here. So a pretty decent pick. 5'11", 196 pounds, May 15th, 2003 birthday. He played for the Halifax Mooseheads last year, 19 goals, 20 assists for 39 points in 33 games. Also had 47 penalty minutes in those 33 games. So averaging almost a penalty a game. Probably a couple fights in there as well. The previous year, he played for the Moncton Wildcats, had almost a point a game, 53 points, 20 goals, 33 assists in 55 games, 70 penalty minutes in those 55 games there as well. So yeah, looks like he likes to throw his weight around a little bit. According to SB Nation, they say he's a bull in a China shop and a loose cannon with a cannon shot. So they got a guy who can shoot the puck, and he's a physical, enthusiastic hitter. Here's a quote from Elite Prospects. So much of L'Heureux's game is defined by his physicality. He's an enthusiastic hitter, one who puts more than his fair share of poor opponents into the boards or onto their asses. He'll get under his opponent's skin under the whistles. He'll fight. He'll mix it up. So looks like a fun player to watch for the Nashville Predators. What would make the OEL trade better in your opinion? More salary retained. Let's see here. Be right back, says Brady. No worries. Habs better get ratty. It could. Decent season. All right, we got the Colorado Avalanche on the clock. We got a sub. It is Brandon Thomas. Thank you for the sub, Brandon. Welcome to the chat. Good to have you here. Good to have all of you here. The fact that we're at the later side, or we're at the end of the first round, it's a bunch of people that lots of you probably haven't even heard of, and we still have 130 people in here, is very cool. And make sure, if you just joined and you haven't heard me say it the countless times already, because about 4,000 people have cycled through here tonight, Canucks After Dark will be live at 10 p.m. Pacific time on the Canucks After Dark YouTube channel. If you want to hear a lot more about the Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Connor Garland trade for Beagle, Eriksson, Roussel, and the 9th overall pick, I recommend you tune into that at 10 o'clock. You just Google it. It'll come up, or you can click the link at the top of the description that says live at 10 p.m. If you can't make it, you can watch the recorded version afterwards, of course, or you can find it on your favorite podcast platform, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever. Just search Canucks After Dark and it will be there. And with that, let's go to the 28th overall pick, the Colorado Avalanche. Joe Sakic to make the pick. Burnaby Joe. The death glare that Gary just gives to the camera. Oh, it's a party in Colorado. They got fans there. Thanks for the sub, Brando. And Mitchell. They go a little off of our board here. Oskar Olausson. Let me type that in here. Copy. Paste. Oskar Olausson. Picked 28th overall by the Colorado Avalanche. Consolidated ranking has him at number 26. He's picked 28th. Elite Prospects had him at 14. Craig Button at 29. Almost everyone has him around 20. Some in the 30s as well. Looks like a pretty decent pick for Colorado. A winger, he's 6'2", 181 pounds, from Stockholm, Sweden. He's playing in. He played in the Swedish Hockey League this year. Had 4 points in 16 games, 3 goals. But he also played for the Junior 20 team in Sweden, and he put up 27 points in 16 games. So that's sort of like their junior league, and he performed well there. Played at the World Juniors, didn't put up any points. But, you know, late in the first round, seems like he might be a decent bet for the Avs. Apparently, he's a very good skater. He effortlessly maneuvers through opponents with his top-handed full control. You'll rarely see Olausson attempt the same neutral zone rush twice in the same game. He can cross the dotted line, change lanes and speed, and work well-timed weight shifts as a puck carrier to get past the defender opposite him. So a guy who can work his way through the neutral zone, make his way around defenders, and hopefully set up some plays for the Avs. As if the Avalanche don't have enough good players on their team. Yeah, OEL will be the highest paid on the Canucks. Let's see here. Alex says, love your stuff. Thank you, Alex. Glad you're here. Tale of Contents, I'm not here for the picks. I'm here for Parker. Well, it's very kind of you. Dabnag going to sleep after the video ends. You should be about 10 to 20 minutes away. Hopefully these picks come in a little quicker. Keep the subs coming, says Brady. I fully agree. Brady's right. Do what Brady says. Keep in mind, not every sub that I get shows up there. It's only if your subscriptions are public on your YouTube. If you have your subscriptions privated, it won't come up. We've gained about 70 subs today. Probably 50 during the stream, probably 20 from my video earlier. And I think only about 15 have showed up. So it's, you got your privacy by default. Manuel says, OEL's bound to have a bounce back career in Vancouver. He probably got bored of Arizona. This is the only way that I could see it getting better, right? He's not going to get better because he's getting better as a player. The only way it would happen would be is if he legitimately just wasn't trying in Arizona, which also isn't that good of a look to me. But that's kind of the only way it works out. And new members. Yeah, any new VIPs, of course, will show up as well. And Twitch follows as well. You prefer my streams to THG. Your stuff is really polished and viewer-friendly. THG has his shtick where with the whiteboard, which I like. And it's really just hanging out mostly. And it's sort of different strokes for different folks kind of thing. I like to put time in and try to make it look cool. And like, it's not like this is like comparable to the graphics on Sportsnet. I don't have that capability, but you know, having the ticker on the top and the picks on the side and all this stuff. It makes me happy to make things look good. So I'm glad you enjoy it. And I can actually make this chat box bigger now as some picks go away. He had some problems with the coach as well, for sure. Definitely a possibility. All right, 1:19 on the clock here for the New Jersey Devils. You like the format? Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate that. We got the Canadian women at the beach volleyball right now trying to win. Let's go. Hopefully they pull it out. Yeah, 4 more picks left. Pick is in for the New Jersey Devils. And then after this, I'm going to watch some Olympics while I wait for Canucks After Dark. Yeah, let's go Canada. I'm so happy the Olympics are on, even though they're kind of weird times. But all right, let's go to New Jersey and see what the pick will be. New Jersey picked Luke Hughes 4th overall, getting their 2nd selection in on the day. I use Streamlabs OBS for all of my graphics and everything. Just a bunch of text. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Chase Stillman. Chase Stillman, ranked number 55 by NHL Network. Let's pull him up here. Chase Stillman, 6'1", 183 pounds, right winger. Looking at these rankings, Elite Prospect had him at 41, Bob McKenzie at 42, Craig Button at 74, Dauber Prospects at 96. The highest ranking by any of these scouting agencies is 41. So maybe a bit of a reach for New Jersey. He played 58 games last year for the Sudbury Wolves, had 34 points in his draft minus 1 year. This year he went to Denmark, played in the under 20 league in Denmark, put up 16 points in 8 games, joined Canada for the under 18s, had 2 goals and 2 assists in those 7 games for them. Brady, you'll get some of your friends who are also hockey fans to sub tomorrow. Well, thank you, man. That's very kind. You live on the East Coast. It's getting late. Yeah, 11:30 for you. Yeah, it's a late one, but I appreciate you sticking on. Lucas is disinterested in the Olympics. You wish the NHLers wouldn't go to Beijing, but I honestly, best on best hockey is just so good. So I'm very much looking forward to the Olympics in Beijing. The Olympics this year are going to be kind of meh, but I just like cheering for. I like sports. I like seeing the best sportsmen in the world doing stuff. Hot Take Hockey did get 40 subs today. I saw that. Good for him. Happy for him. I thought he just got like 30 not too long ago. So Stankoven still on the board. Can the Canucks move up, please? Almost everyone on Twitter is like, "Hey, Logan Stankoven, let's someone grab this guy. He's good." But no one's doing it. Yeah, I'm not for China. I'm just for fun sports. Think of it this way, the Olympics are going to cost the Chinese government money. No one comes out of the Olympics unscathed. Why did that scroll? What is going on? All right. 3 more picks. 3 more picks. And then I can go get a coffee and a snack. And then I can get ready for Canucks After Dark. I'm just taking a Ratty tomorrow. That'd be interesting. Oh boy. You're going to have ice cream tonight? Man, I want some ice cream. I would love some ice cream. Yeah, 2010 was sick. You're going to sleep. Have a good one, Dabnad. I don't blame you. Have a good night. Make sure you download the podcast tomorrow for Canucks After Dark so we can shoot up the rankings.
Ice cream?
Popsicle, please. Thank you very much. Hell yeah. It's nice having someone who lives with me that listens to this, because then I get deliveries. Space Pop. It's a rocket ship. Oh, yeah. Hello, Ben. Welcome. Welcome to the draft. Our low-key draft coverage where we're just waiting for Vegas to make a pick. You only ever find those in Canada? At like $5 for 30 of them at $5 for 30 of them at Superstore. You know who they'll pick? Nope. Nope. Stankoven seems like a good bet here, but no one's going for him. Here we go. Picks in. Let's go to Vegas. Kelly McCrimmon to make the selection. The 2 first name man. Zach Dean going to the Vegas Golden Knights. Let's pull up his info. All right. Zach Dean, 6 foot, 176 pounds, from Grand Prairie, Alberta. Ranked 32 by Consolidated Ranking. 31 on our Bob McKenzie list, right up there. Craig Button had him at 22. Sportsnet at 28. Dauber Prospects at 42. So basically right around here is where he was going to get picked. Makes sense. Center. Played for the Gatineau Olympiques. 20 points in 23 games this year. 10 goals, 10 assists. Last year, he had 46 points in 57 games. So basically a point per game in his draft year. Let's take him off the list. Wow, they have all the hats, Fangirl. They have all 32 teams' hats. Ah. All right, we have 2 picks to go. 2 picks to go, and then I can get food and a coffee. Apparently, Zach Dean, very good two-way forward. Way more skilled than his point totals would suggest. Can be a middle six center with some two-way ability long term. That's good. Space Pop is your dinner? Damn it, Melissa. It kind of is. All right. 2 picks to go. Montreal and Chicago. Let's get it done. Taco bake for now? That sounds good. I think the Habs will pick Francesco. Maybe. I think he's Italian, though, not French, the name. I don't know if they're allowed. Seems like he'd be a solid pick here, though. Definitely some good names on the board. Lots of Italians live in Quebec. Interesting. Is the pick in? I don't know yet. We're on a commercial. We're on a skip the dishes commercial. Man, lots of scouts really like Zach Dean. Cam Robinson says he might put up triple-digit points next year. You guys are making me hungry, says Brady. Sorry, buddy. Is he the Abbey Canucks mascot? Is there an Abbey Canucks mascot? Or is it just like a drawing? You want Pinelli or Raty in Detroit for the great names? Yeah, those are good names. There's a lot of good names here, though. Like, L'Heureux was a great name. I really like that. And Lambos was the best. All right, 2 more picks. Is Hyman going to Edmonton? It really looks like it. Like 98%. Are the Green Men coming back? I don't think so. They're on, one of them has like a radio show. I don't think they're coming back. It was a one-time thing. Apparently, Canada on beach volleyball, they won the first set. Thanks for the sub, Ben. I appreciate it. Welcome. Yeah, I don't think there's an Abbotsford mascot yet. I'm sure it'll be something Johnny Canuck related. Which is fine. Who's Canada playing? I think they're playing France in beach volleyball. But I lost it. I don't have it. I don't have it open. But I'm going to turn my TV to it when I can. Yes, go Canada. All right, Montreal, let's go. Let's get this done. Yeah, it's on CBC. You root for the women's teams based on which ones you have a crush on. Interesting. Adam with the sub, thank you. I appreciate it. Logan. What? What? This is the most boneheaded move I've ever seen in my life. He renounced himself from the draft. Rightly so. It's a terrible look for Montreal. Like, it's such a bad look for Montreal to have made this pick. Like, if I'm the NHL, I'm pissed, right? Like, it's such a bad look. I am shocked. They could have picked him in the 7th round. No one else was going to take him. Oh, okay, I don't want to listen to this. Let's listen to the old white guy talk about cancel culture, am I right? Yikes. All right. Well, shocking pick. And with that, I mean, picking a guy who's renounced himself from the draft in the first round after the NHL, I'm sure the NHL put out a memo saying, yeah, don't pick this guy. Wild. I don't even know what to say about it. Just ridiculous. No one else was going to take him. If they really wanted him, they could have waited till 7th round, and it still would have been a bad look. But it's even worse now. Wild. Like, this feels like a pick that they're just going to have to renounce anyways, right? Like, just a boneheaded decision from the Montreal Canadiens. All right. Mia, I'll go with. Your neighbor is Francesco. That's interesting. Francesco Pinelli up at the top there. Where were we? HSM Fangirl asked, favorite flavor of sundae from Dairy Queen. Now, if I'm going Blizzard, I'm just going to put some question marks after this. If I'm going Blizzard, it's cookie dough all day. Yeah, if I'm on the NHL Network here, I didn't want to have to talk about this tonight. And yeah, no, that's a ridiculous. Like, are you picking him because he's that much better than a guy like Francesco Pinelli? Yeah, most of that came out after he got picked. And it's like, that was a 4th round. No, some of it was known in NHL circles before. That's why he fell to the 4th round with Miller. But yeah, that's. I'm going to listen to Friedman here. Yeah, and like Freeman's saying, you can't officially take yourself out of the draft. Like technically, if you're draft eligible, they could draft me for all they wanted, even though I didn't like. It's not like the NFL where you have to declare for the draft, but still ridiculous. All right, Blackhawks pick. I'm going to wrap up for the night. If I'm Gary looks pissed. Gary looks angry. Just terrible PR to end your draft. You have the Habs taking a player who no one should have taken in the draft, and then you have the Blackhawks who's going through all these other investigations with the last pick. And then the Blackhawks just, okay, I don't know. I don't have words for this. So they go a little off the board as well. Nolan Allen, ranked 83 by the NHL Network. Let's take a look at Nolan Allen, then we can wrap up here. So I finish my popsicle. Defenseman, 6', 294 pounds. He is ranked highest at 59th by Bob McKenzie's rankings. Elite Prospects system at 83. Dauber at 93. So this is a reach based on the scouting profiles. Played in the WHL, had 2 points in 16 games, 2 points at the U18s as well. So a bit of a reach for the Chicago Blackhawks. And look, there's still 7 players who are first round grades based on what we're using. And the Canucks have the 10th pick in the next round. Or the 9th pick in the next round. So some options for the Vancouver Canucks. We are going to talk about those options and a lot more at Canucks After Dark at 10 p.m. tonight on the Canucks After Dark YouTube channel. Link at the top of the description. If you want more from me, we'll be live for about an hour tonight starting at 10 p.m. Pacific. You can click that link, or if you can't make it, you can listen to the podcast version after. Just search Canucks After Dark on your favorite podcast platform. You can find me on Twitter at Parker's Pucks. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel while you are here. You can join my Discord. You can follow me on Twitch. All this stuff is linked down below. Just go click all those links, see where you end up. It's a fun time. I'm going to go spend the next hour and a half getting ready for the next stream. A busy night for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I hope your team picked the players you wanted them to pick. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.